Basinger, the big tight end down the middle of the field, and a couple of plays that looked like they had some promise. Was a wheel route where the number 4 would come out, Thompson, and actually be open. Our quarterback would bite, and a couple of times they just missed him in the pass. Got a feeling they're going to be running that one a couple times tonight.
Well, the Miners were able to put up 62 points when these two teams met. How about defensively for North Central? What will they try to do tonight to slow down the Miners?
You know, their coach just said that they've got to trust. They got to do their reads. Where it starts is on the up front. The down linemen have got to be able to keep our linemen from getting the second-level blocks on their backs, on their linebackers. But if we can get guys on the outside, which is what happened all night. The other big storyline of that first meeting with North Central, Darren, was special teams. They punted after being held 3-8 out. The ball bounced at the 40. I don't know if you've seen that film, but just bounced straight up. Tyler ran, took it untouched, straight to the end zone. Next series, Kendall Williams picks off a pass, gets to the 3. We were on their punter, McCombs, all night long. Figley had a block. Later on in the game, Pierce Jackson had a block. Figley recovers for a touchdown. A whole lot of points and a whole lot of recklessness was being shown on that special teams night.
Well, Dan, you mentioned their coach. You had a chance to talk with him as well as Coach Oliver here before tonight's game. So we'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break, come back with the interview with Coach Travis Knowlton of the North Central Thunderbirds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Football with Coach Knowlton of the North Central Thunderbirds. It seems like we were just talking a couple of weeks ago, Coach, and the T-Birds had come out of a game with North Knox and kind of got handed a 35-0 loss. Then you drew them in the sectionals, and lo and behold, the T-Birds come out and turn things around and make things happen and come home with a victory. Tell me a little bit about that game.
Well, we were without our starting quarterback for 6 weeks. I mean, that makes a huge difference. Braden Cooch is a good game manager for us. It allows us, when he's a quarterback, allowed us to put Trey Thompson in natural position and at running back and kind of at a slot receiver type thing and get him open in the open field. And that played a big part of it, was not having the quarterback. We're an option team. I've been an option team forever, and when you don't have your option quarterback, it goes down, it limits you. Trey did a fantastic job when he had to step in at quarterback and won us a few games. And I really felt when Braden went down against West Vigo in the first quarter, we were winning the game. I'm confident that we would have had a very good record, and some of those losses that we got, I think we could have beat North Knox the first time, West Vigo, and played competitively against Eastern if we would have had him, because we were sharp. We looked sharp all summer. We looked sharp going into everything, and he goes down, and it's a dramatic loss. But our kids battled back and battled through that, and we were able to continue to compete and put some wins out there. Then we got Braden back, and had to shake the rust off a little bit, and he's playing pretty good football right now. So
well, Coach, you talk about your backfield of Foshower and, of course, the freshman base singer as well. Michael Kaufman spent some time back there as well. Over 4,000 yards rushing for your offense. That says a lot about your offensive line. And I made a couple of notes there. You got 3 seniors up there, Hunt, Adams, and Robinson. And, of course, McCombs plays at tight end. Tell me about that offensive line.
They've done a fantastic job all season. Cale Adams was an all-conference player on the line. He's a great blocker. He's kind of been the leader of that line for the last couple of years. Dalton Robinson, 2-year starter for us, has done a great job down there too. Jason Hunt's been out the last few weeks with injury, so Michael Kaufman has stepped down there, and Michael Kaufman's Michael Kaufman's one of those guys. He's just a good athlete. He's big, he's fast, he's strong. He can play in the backfield or play on the line, and we've needed him to play on the line. He's stepped up and done that. Certainly McCombs is a fantastic player. He was an all-conference player as well on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he's got good hands, and he blocks well, and he's big and strong. So they've done a good job of blocking. JT Basinger as well, also the other tight end starting, has done a great job of blocking. Our backs have done a good job running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Dawson Basinger is going to be a fantastic player for us. He's got I think over 800 yards rushing on the season, and he's fast, and for a freshman to have that kind of output is you got a pretty special kid because he can do it on both sides of the ball.
Well, you say both sides of the ball. And my next question, of course, JT Basinger leads. He's got to lead. He's got to be up there high in the state total. There are 184 tackles, I believe, and his younger brother Dawson has 100 and some odd. How important is their play tonight linebacker going to be against the minor offense?
Critical. I mean, Linton's a fantastic team. They can run, they can throw. JT and Dawson, I'm just glad that they're underclassmen. I get them back next year. I think we get a lot of guys back next year. I think the future's bright at North Central, but as far as the linebacker play tonight, it's very critical that we are able to do our job and they're able to continue to do what they do.
Obviously, coming into tonight, you got stuck pretty hard in the week 9. Got down early in that game. Special teams kind of bit you a bit. Punt return, a block punt. What are you telling your team this week? Obviously, you've got nothing to lose. Yeah. And you did have a big win against Tecumseh, and it looked pretty sharp in doing it. Do your kids believe they can come out tonight and win this game?
They believe they can come out and compete and win this game. I believe that. We're going to come out and fight. I've been at North Central for 5 years, and one thing that I've tried to beat into the minds of every player I've coached is that we're going to come out every night and battle, and that's what we intend to do. I mean, the one thing I guess I could take from the previous game is don't kick at the Muir. He's a stud. So, so he's a good player. But, like I said, we're playing a storied team with a lot of tradition here, and I'm happy that we made it. We're the first time we've made it to the sectional finals in school history. So, and the good thing about us is the future's bright. We've got a very talented freshman group of kids. We got a few 8th graders mixed with them that are going to be pretty special in the future. I think North Central football is going to be fun to watch here next year.
Coach, I appreciate you taking the time, and wish you the best of luck in the off-season and Coach coming in next year for the Beaver football program.
All right, thanks, Dan.
All right, that's Coach Travis Knowlton from the North Central Thunderbirds. We're taking 60-second timeout. You're listening to Linton Minor Football on WQTY 93.3, a production of Media 5 Sports. Tell me a little bit about this senior class who has not lost a sectional game since they've been here.
Well, it's a pretty special class to be able to do this. So being able to come out here and compete for another sectional championship is pretty awesome for the kids and for the school. They put a lot of time and effort into this program and put a lot of blood and sweat along with that. So I'm proud of these kids, what they've accomplished, but I know this isn't what their main step is. They're looking for something a little bigger and better.
The motivation factor is probably pretty easy to see. Now you get something for the reward tonight. Last week, handled Perry Central pretty well. Just senior leadership, how does that dwindle down through the classes? Your junior class is probably already going to be there, but your freshmen and your sophomores, what do the seniors mean to them?
Well, a lot of them look up to them. They try to follow them. They emulate them. Like for linemen, they're watching Demo, the way he plays, and things like that. So they're kind of watching a lot of them, trying to learn. And these extra weeks are going to be really beneficial for them because now they're getting a lot of extra practice as well. Right now they got 2 extra weeks of practice compared to a lot of other teams in the state. So it's going to be beneficial for them in the long run as well. So they're being able to look up to them and watch them perform, and that's something they have to live up to as well.
I've been keeping the stats for Demo's pancake boxes all year. These last couple games, well, I'll look at some of these other guys. We got some other linemen that are pulling and making some great hits. Caden Walker being one of them.
Yeah, you look there, Caden Walker. He's really coming along since the beginning of the season as a junior, been able to perform for us up front. And then you look at some of the other guys that are really stepping up. All the line, they really have gelled together recently.
Briar Pope at center really has been steady all year long as well.
Yes, Briar Pope really stepped up compared to what he played last year. He worked his tail off in the weight room. He got himself a little bigger, a little stronger, and even a little faster, and that was key for us. We knew we were moving guys around to try to create a little more speed, so he got himself in position and ready to perform. He's done a great job for us.
And the result of those good linemen, you got a guy now who's rushed for 1,000 yards and passed for 1,000 yards. Do you remember a quarterback that ran and thrown for 1,000 yards?
Not to my knowledge. The other one we were considering might have been Adam Brewer, but I don't think
Keith Cunningham actually was the next one up.
Oh, Keith? Yeah. So I knew it had to be one of those guys. I didn't know which one it would have been, but I knew it had to be one of those guys. So it's a pretty good company to be able to get up there and do something like that.
Mitch Everhard, of course, if he's 10 yards, and he'll now have back-to-back 1,000-yard season. That's a good attestament to your line play, but also to Mitch's ability.
Oh, absolutely. Mitch has done a great job for us there. As a running back for us last year, 1,000 yards, and this year he's going to get 1,000 yards. So he's really coming along. He's just a big back that runs really fast, and he's well experienced. He's played quite a bit since he's a freshman.
Let's look at tonight's contest, Coach. Obviously, you faced these guys a couple weeks ago and really dominated on special teams all the way through. Do you expect to see anything different from North Central's offense tonight?
No, not really. They might come out with something new, knowing that how much success we had against them a few weeks ago. They might adjust it a little bit, but I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see. I don't think they're going to be able to change everything within a week, but you never know. A lot of things can change, but I see them still come out, and they'll probably try to run the ball. If they don't, they're going to probably try to spread and try to throw the ball. And that's when we have to get pressure.
Another 1,200-yard rusher, and Trey Thompson did a real good job on him last time. I have noticed that they do run this 3-wide spread kind of thing going on, so they may try to pass defensively. We were so successful against them last time. Is there anything that you look out differently for this time around?
Probably a little bit more passing, a lot more play action passing because as aggressive our defense is. They'll probably try to do a little more play action stuff. So something like that. I see they're trying to attack our defense a little differently instead of maybe run away a little bit from Demo here or there, just different things like that. But we'll be ready. We've been running against this offense the last 3 weeks, so we're pretty prepared for it.
Special teams was key in this game last time. You blocked 2 punts, one was a touchdown, had a return, I believe, by your interception. You got on them real early. How confident are you in your special team?
Well, I'm very confident. They've been able to perform for us all year. We've had quite a few returns. They've done a great job. I don't see him kicking to Tyler or Mitch this week. I see him trying to kick the ball out of bounds. That's what I predict, but you just never know how that'll work. But our special teams come out and perform, all of them, all the way up to Luke.
Coach, I appreciate you taking time for me to get a smile on your face after the game in the booth.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Thanks.
That's Coach Brian Oliver, the Linton Miners. You're listening. We'll take a 60-second time out first, but you're listening to Linton Miner Football, WPPY 93.3 FM, a production of I can't even remember what it is now. Production of Pete Doge, that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, man.
How'd you like that, Ken?
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Razor leads the way. With unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Perfectly combined to chase what matters. Lifelong memories with friends and family. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Linton. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Morin at Midwest Satellite for dish network and packages starting at just $19.99 a month, plus free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. Mike will even pay $50 on your first bill. That's Mike Morin at Midwest Satellite in Linton. Well, Dan, to get here, the North Central Thunderbirds defeated North Knox 34-27 in the first round, and then last week a nice 55-22 victory against Tecumseh. The Miners, they defeated Tell City 76-8 back in the first round and followed that up with a 63-7 win over Perry Central last week. And then the winner of tonight's game will play the winner between 10-0 West Washington and 8-3 North Decatur. And if it's the Miners that win, we would play West Washington at West Washington. If North Decatur wins, we would play them here at home.
Oh, so we're pulling for the Senators.
Absolutely.
Well, then again, I don't know about that.
True. Time for the national anthem here, so we'll go ahead and take one more break. Be back with the rest of the pregame show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football, produced by Media 5 Sports. Up with the national anthem, and we were talking about what happens with victories tonight. Of course, we're planning on the Miners winning, and as I mentioned, if it's West Washington, we would have to travel down to West Washington. If it's North Decatur, they would come here, but my guess is after that, if we were to win again, we'd have to travel to either North Vermilion or South Putnam. Is that right, for the,
there's
semi-state?
been so many talks about it. The general thought is that if we win tonight and go to West Washington and win there, and North Vermilion wins out, that game would be here, which, of course, a lot of people thinking ahead. But, it's going to take a miracle tonight for North Central to kind of come in here and knock the Miners off. It's just the honesty about it. You want a good game. You want the Miners to be like a well-oiled machine, come down and kind of what we saw at Perry Central, just go right down the field and score and then shut them down defensively. And then you got West Washington, who's going to be 10-0, and that, who knows with North Decatur. They're 8-3. They really haven't beaten a quality team, and you would think West Washington would win that one. And, boy, that'll set up a heck of a contest next week in Campbellsburg. We made that journey there a few years back, and the AK and the Kaiser and the Bradbury years, and that was a heck of a trip over there. But tonight, you just want to see us get through this. We already know that one of our guys, Walker, is not going to be dressing tonight, and he's our starting I believe he's our starting right guard. So my understanding is Owen Sparks, the normal tackle, is going to move to guard, and we're going to bring in T. Pig to play the tackle. T started last year as a junior at tackle, so not a necessarily a bad thing. And North Central has one of their linemen that's not playing and hadn't played for a couple of weeks. Hopefully we can come out of a game like this without anybody getting hurt on either side of the ball.
Well, we mentioned earlier both the coaches interviewed by Dan. Brian Oliver in his third year at Linton has a record of 34 wins and 4 losses. Travis Nolting in his 5th year at North Central has a very good 35-18 record. So this North Central program, you heard him in the interview, a lot of underclassmen rather, and he sees a bright future for North Central.
He does.
As we move forward.
Learning this week, in junior high games, they are, I think I'm going to get them wrong, one of the two, because we have to combine our junior high teams evidently when we play. The 7th plays first half, 8th plays second because teams don't have it. And they're I guess they're 8th grade team or 7th grade. Not real sure who they are. Don't want to get it wrong because our junior high teams are good too. But they put up a little bit of a battle. And when those guys get up to be freshmen, along with Baysinger's mentioned, there's another one, Luke Turner, number 6, who sees a lot of action. That's 2 freshmen seeing some bright lights. In a game like this is experience that you can count on when you get a little bit older.
Absolutely. Well, it's time for tonight's starting lineups. They're brought to you by Midwest Natural Gas. Quick, name the energy source that has decreased in price from 10 years ago. If you said natural gas, you're right. Call Midwest Natural Gas when you're ready for warm, efficient, and affordable energy. Natural gas, still your best energy source.
Well, we've talked quite a bit about the offense. Let's look at the defense first. The 2 inside linebackers, the leading scorer. I'm almost in basketball mode. Leading tackler is Pierce Jackson. He's a 6'1", 175 singer. He has 100 tackles on the nose, 9 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. Avery Gentry, a 2-year starter now. He started as a sophomore, 62 tackles. He's 6'1", 190. He's a junior. Outside backers, both key players for the Miners. Kendall Williams is a junior, 5'9", 160, and Chad Trent, a senior, 6'1", 190. The defensive ends are Garrett Mason, a junior, 5'7", 190, along with Zach Figley, a senior, 6'1", 160. Up the middle, T. Pig, 62. He's a senior, 5'10", 230, and Dylan Morris had a whale of a game last week, a senior, 6'3", 235. The defensive backs, Trey Passon, a junior, 5'10", 135, Mitch Eberhardt, a senior, 6'1", 190, and Tyler Muir, a junior, at 5'8", 175. Offensive side of things, the offensive line is Ian Fonseca, a junior, 5'6", 150 at tackle. Dylan Morris at guard. Briar Pope is a junior, 6', 275 at center. And like we mentioned, Sparks and Pig on the right side. The minor skill players, Tyler Muir, 1,093 yards rushing, over 11 yards per carry, over 1,000 yards passing the ball. And he's hit on 62% of his passes, a pretty high number. Mason, Eberhardt, and Jackson make up the other part of the four-headed monster. 989 in yardage for Eberhardt, 742 Mason, 699 for Figley. Jackson, we can't leave out Zach Figley. He's caught a couple of balls now from tight end, 1 for touchdown. A couple of good receivers. Jacob Clothier has 17 catches for 394, 9 touchdowns. Pierce Jackson, 25 catches for 597. And you can always count on one across the middle to him. The T-Birds, real quickly, quarterback Braden Cooch is a junior, 6', 175. He's rushed for 414 yards. He's passed for 384 yards. Garrett Froschauer, Trey Thompson, and Dawson Baysinger are the 3 backs you always see in kind of a wishbone. One of those guys is senior Thompson. The other's a junior and a freshman. Thompson has 1,274 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns, 922 yards for Froschauer, and 882 yards for Baysinger. Between all of those guys, we're looking at about 35 to 43 touchdowns. JT Baysinger, Ian McCombs, the 2 tight ends. Up front, Coffin, Adams, Reed, Robinson, and Stevenson. Pretty good size, 205, 230, 235, 200, and 240 are going to be on the line play. The defensive side of things, we talked a lot about J.C. Baysinger, the middle linebacker, 184 tackles. That's got to be a huge number. Dawson Baysinger, 121. Outside backers are Alex Turner and Michael Howard. Defensive ends, Cale Adams and Michael Coffin. In the middle, Ian McCombs and Lane Spear, number 52. Those 2 guys are singers. The defensive backs tonight, Cooch, Trey Thompson, and Garrett Froschauer is the safety.
And it's time for the fictitious coin toss. They had the real coin toss earlier, so the captains are going to meet with the official out here at midfield. The captains for the Miners, Dylan Morris, Braxton Lannon, Avery Gentry, and Pierce Jackson. And for North Central, Braden Cooch, Trey Thompson, number 55 is Cale Adams, and number 16, I believe it is, Joey Larimer. So those are the captains for North Central. We'll find out who the winner of the coin toss was here. The referees sending the teams to their side. Looks like the Miners have won the toss. We'll see what they elected to do here. I'd say they'll take the football.
I would be very surprised if we didn't.
Yes, they're going to receive, so the Miners will have it first. North Central will kick off. Tonight's kickoff is brought to you by Bob's Switz City. Kick off your evening with the best pizza, sandwiches, and sides from Bob's. You're just a phone call away, so call right now, 659-BOB. That's 659-2623, and Amy will have it ready when you get there. Bob's Switz City, open at 4 p.m. every Wednesday through Sunday. Well, you heard Coach Nolting say they're not going to kick the ball to Tyler tonight.
Well, there's a problem with that, because if you don't kick it to Tyler, then you're going to kick it to an up guy. And the up guy, as we've seen, Corbin has made some nice returns. Keaton Cox can make returns. There really is no other. Their best bet will be to short kick it to the line and take their chances. And don't be surprised that we don't see a squib kick aimed at one of our linemen.
Might see some kind of an onside kick thing. I watched a feature on ESPN, I believe it was not too long ago, about a coach somewhere in a high school that never punts, and they onside kick every time they kick it.
never punts at all, and they're quite successful.
They're very successful.
It's a little bit
yes.
easier to do when your offensive team is pretty tough.
Very, very much so, yes.
Yeah, we get a look up there. Luke Miller and, of course, Chance Howard. It confuses you seeing 52, but he's played back. He was a running back all of his career. Keaton Cox is up there along with the Corbin. So, yeah, there's a lot of space between the 35 and the 20. If you could, they're just almost tempting them to put it there, and if that's where these guys get to get it on the run.
Braden Cooch, the quarterback, is also the kicker, so he's going to tee it up at the 40-yard line as we get ready to get things started tonight. The Miners in their home red jerseys with blue numbers, white trim. Of course, the traditional red helmets. North Central in their road white jerseys with green numbers, black pants and black trim, and the helmets are black and green, so a little bit of a different look for North Central in the helmet department.
That helmet is the old Michigan Wolverine. I don't know what the name of that is. Rockville has it too. It's black and the stripes are green.
Just about ready for kickoff here tonight.
Look up front there. I see Fig, Fonseca. It looks like Hazelwood, Trevor Hill, and I got Hazelwood on. Burris is on the other end. So Hill's already had, I think, 2 or 3 of them kicked at him. So he's been able to make the play. He almost suspected. We suspected. We got
guys really tight here between the 50 and the 40. North Central's huddled up, and they quick kick it right off the bat, and the Miners fall on it, I believe.
Yeah,
and
right at Hazelwood.
They're going to get good field position to start here for the Miners. They're going to take over at about the 48-yard line as North Central just kind of huddled up, broke the huddle, and quickly kicked the football, trying to catch the Miners a little bit off guard there, but the Miners ready for it.
I think everybody and their great-great-grandmother expected that to come. Miners get the ball at their own 48-yard line.
So great field position. They'll bring Jacob Clothier wide to the near side. They'll put Tyler Muir with Garrett Mason in the backfield. Muir out of the shotgun with Eberhardt on the right wing, Jackson on the left wing. Referee puts the ball in play, and now we got 2 guys in motion, but the ball's not snapped, so they're able to get reset. Now we got Jackson in motion, handoff to Jackson, coming to the right side, out over the 50 to the 45, down to the 40. And he's tackled from behind inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. So a nice run to start for the Miners.
Right off the bat, a nice run to the right side. Nice lead blocking. Touchdown really pretty much saved by Dawson Basinger coming all the way around to make that tackle. But, yeah, pretty good guys gain back to the North Central 33-yard line. That is a gain of 19 yards.
So 1st and 10 for the Miners to the 33 is where they mark it. Muir again out of the shotgun, joined by Mason. Eberhardt in motion this time, nearly fumbled. Eberhardt has it going to the left side, looking for running room. And he's going to be tackled out of bounds over inside the 30-yard line.
See him running a little light step. The field actually looks better today than it did 2 or 3 weeks ago. But we've had some rain, and so it's a little bit that gives away underneath of you. Going to get 8 yards on that play.
They move it down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, it looks like. So 2nd down and 3 here. There's the snap to Muir, rolls out to the right, fires the pass out to Clothier on the right side. He's tackled down inside the 15-yard line for another Miner 1st down.
Well, I like seeing that passing game work like at the short game. We get a lot of passes that go the distance, and you'd like to see where we can get some of these short passes.
They're going to keep the chains out there, so the ball will be on about the 11-yard line. It looks like it will not be 1st and goal. Now they got it on the 14. The angle's really tough to tell up here, so they'll put it at the 14, 1st and 10. Miners on their first drive of the game. Muir out of the shotgun, joined by Mason. Clothier wide to the far side. In motion is Eberhardt. They give it the counter to Jackson, coming to the right side, and he's quickly met by number 57, Larry Pinkston of North Central.
Well, I actually think that's Lane Spear. Those 2s and 7s and 8s get confusing, but Lane Spear made some plays last week, and late in the game against us there, that's one of those few plays that was not successful.
That's going to be for a 1-yard loss, make it 2nd down and 11 here. Miners look over to the sideline for the play. They send Eberhardt out into the flat this time on the left side. He'll join Clothier. Out of the shotgun, Muir. Takes the snap, looks to the left, throws it quickly out to Jackson, looking for running room, looking for blocks. Gets it down inside the 10, I believe. Maybe even down inside the 5 here. We'll see where they spot it.
Oh, was that a pass or was that a rush?
He threw that out in front for sure that time, so passing play for the Miners. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 5 at the 9-yard line, it looks like.
And I would be very surprised if we do anything but try to go for the score right off the bat, this deep in the red zone. The Miners have been pretty dang good in the red zone this year. I got us for 84%, 84.1, 37 out of 44 times we scored her. We're not going to get in this time.
Nope, Jackson takes the handoff coming to the right. He's stopped. Going to be for a loss again, I believe. See what Coach Oliver decides to do here. You got Luke Wilson, of course, who's been very good with the extra points. It's going to be 4th down, and they're going to call it 5 at about the 10-yard line.
Well, that's 2 plays that we ran him. 2 plays that Lane Spear, number 52, has gotten in the backfield. He is a senior, 5'10", 215, and the Miners are going to go for it. And this is a big play for the T-Bird defense right off the bat.
4th and 7 at the 10 is what they're calling it here. In motion is Figley. He lines up now on the left side. They're going to try to draw him off.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Now they'll take a timeout as the play clock is about to expire. So with 8:52 left in the first quarter on the Graber Post buildings. The Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Hadn't done that all year. The Highcom Security Services scoreboard, there's still no score. We'll keep it here. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Southside Express in Linton. Southside Express has everything you need when you're in a hurry and is locally owned and operated. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Bob Switz City, open every Wednesday through Sunday from 4 till 8 with everyday specials. Buy any 14-inch 3-topping pizza and get a 10-inch 1-topping for just $1.99. Also buy 3 large and get a 4 free at Bob Switz City. Also offering the $10 Thursdays, a 14-inch pizza with any number of toppings is just $10 every Thursday. Their number is 659-BOB, and they are still open, where you can get a pizza while you listen to tonight's game. And that was my dinner last night and lunch today. That $10 special, quite a deal over there at Bogue.
I'm sure I'd be on that more if I was closer. And Darren, I think what we're seeing happen is, Sparks has moved down to that guard position. He's not played there all year, and Spear is the one playing across from him. So they're confusing the Miner defense or offensive front line right now.
The Miners still have the offense out there, 4th and 7. Muir going to keep it, rolls out to the right, has a blocker in front, cuts it back up, gets near the end zone, and in. Touchdown, Tyler Muir. 7 yards out's what the scoreboard says, I believe. So,
yeah, it is a 7.
4th and 7 at the 10. So Tyler with the 7-yard touchdown run puts the Miners on the board.
Well, that averted a couple of negative plays, and that brings out Wilson to try to kick the extra point. And I'm sure the Miner coaching staff will now take a look at that first series and what was going on to cause that problem.
Wilson, good snap, kick in the air, and looks. Oh, it hit the right upright, and then came back in, no good.
Well, that's the first one he's actually missed from kicking all year long, Darren.
Yeah, I believe that's. I mean, the games I've been here, he's been pretty true. It looked like he was a little slow to the ball maybe that time, and got it up into the right upright, no good. So with 8:45 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners take a 6-0 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tangle's Styling Salon, Highway 54 in Linton. Trendy, modern, up-to-date styles for the entire family. See Linda Goodman at Tangle's. Go Miners. What do you got for that drive there, Dan?
That drive was 7 plays, 52 yards. And as soon as I enter this number, 842, it is a oops.
Yeah, got a little boo-boo.
You saw that
there,
before I did. 8:42, that was a 3-minute, 18-minute drive.
You also need to change your 42 there. There's the kick to the far side, fielded at about the 18-yard line. It looks like some running room up the middle for North Central. Breaks free and slips and falls down, does the runner.
Trey Thompson, number 4, and he's got a lot of speed, and he just about burned that one right up the middle. It's all Miners slip, and they got the ball on the Miners, well, it looks like on their side of the field, the 49.
Yeah, about the 48, 49-yard line, and if he doesn't fall down, might have been interesting to see what would have happened there.
Trey Thompson is a dangerous thing, and that, North Central came along strong there towards the end of that defensive play. We did score, But they really need to do something offensively. They couldn't do anything offensively against the Miners in their first meeting.
Cooch comes out to quarterback. 3 backs in the backfield. Wishbone set. Wide receiver to the near side. Under center. And the Miners going to jump off on the first play. So an offside penalty. You definitely don't want to give a team like this any hope.
No, you don't. So that puts the ball to the Miner 46-yard line, and that was Chance Howard that time that jumped across. He's playing like in a 5-man front. They've got him down there on the nose guard, and he's had a lot of success, just a sophomore.
So into Miner territory, 1st and 5. Cooch out of the shotgun now. And they're going to hand it off up the middle. Thompson breaks a tackle, gets the first down yardage. Takes it inside the 40 down to about the 38.
That was actually Froschauer, number 9, and he actually had the most yards on us last the game, 59 yards, and a whole different thing there. But it seems like the Miners a little disarray on the defense, where people running around not knowing where to be.
Going to take it down to the 37-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for the T-Birds. Cooch with 1 back in the backfield. Takes the snap and hands it off again up the middle. And this time the Miner defense right there at the line of scrimmage. It's Froschauer again. He stopped.
Figley, number 5, was one of the guys to get there.
Going to give him a yard on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. 37, once again, hard to tell the angles. About the 37-yard line here. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Single back with Cooch in the backfield. Takes the snap, going to look to throw this time. Fires it to the left side, has a receiver. It's picked off. Intercepted at the 15. Tyler Muir comes back out over the 30 to about the 33. Had a receiver open out there, underthrew. Tyler right there to pick it off.
Trey Thompson was out of that backfield, and he was behind Muir. And we've seen that before, and almost like Tyler does that on purpose to make him think he's there. Nice leaping catch, made the catch, and turn around and really kind of saved the Miners there. That looked like that could be dangerous.
Miners will take back over their 2nd drive now after the turnover. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. They take over with 7:33 left here in the first quarter, leading 6-0. Muir out of the shotgun. This time it's Miller in motion, coming to the line up at tight end. Now Eberhardt heads to the left side, takes the handoff, has running room on the left side, cuts it back up. Now back to the outside, midfield, and he's going to get into North Central territory near the 45-yard line.
Just great explosive running out there. Basinger, number 18, gets out there along with Froschauer, the safety. How quickly it changes. They're on many trip to 34. Now we're all the way down to the 48 or 47 of North Central.
So 1st and 10 at the North Central 47 now for the Miners. They'll bring Clothier to the near side. And now we got the referee going to take an official's timeout here. And now they're back ready again. Reset the play clock. And now they put the ball in play. Clothier stays to the near side. Mason joins Muir. Jackson in motion. He'll take the handoff, coming to the right side, 45-40, and he's going to be knocked down near the 35-yard line. And that's going to be another 1st down for the Miners.
Long way to run from left to right. Basinger, the inside the back, or JT Basinger, comes out, makes the hit along with Trey Thompson, number 4.
This time the Miners send Clothier to the left side. Miller stays in at tight end. Jackson on the left wing. Eberhardt goes out now to the slot on the left side. Mason stays with Muir in the backfield, out of the shotgun, takes the snap and gives it to Garrett. Going to the left side, cuts it back up the middle, dodges a tackle, now lowers his head, runs right over the North Central defender. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Another Miner 1st down.
Just a physical run. He is a tackle by Michael Turner, or Alex Turner, number 30, but Turner took the brunt of that hit.
Down to the 17-yard line, so Mason could pick up on his first carry of the night. 1st and 10 for the Miners. They're moving it again. Eberhardt comes back to the right wing. Jackson on the left. Clothier out to the slot on the right side. Now Miller goes in motion, goes to the left side at tight end. Jackson in motion to the right, takes the handoff, looking for running room on the outside, and he's going to be brought down. Might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. Pierce finding it a little bit tough going here in the early going.
Yeah, out there outside. The linebackers are kind of trailing him out there. Dawson Basinger, this time number 2, You got him. He runs a good 20 yards when he just gets a couple of yards down to the 17-yard line. I don't think he got anything.
Back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and 10 now for the Miners. Clock stopped as he went out of bounds. Clothier wide to the left side this time. Miners look over to the sideline to get the play. Now they get set. Eberhard on the right wing, Jackson on the left. The typical Miners set with Muir out of the shotgun, joined by Mason. Eberhard in motion. Fake the handoff. Muir rolls out to his left, looking to throw pressure, and he's going to throw it. Caught over on the left sideline. I believe the receiver got his feet down.
Pretty sure that was Clothier, 18. Makes a nice catch, gets his tips down. Clothier and Jackson are both out there. They both got the arm sleeves on, so it's kind of hard to tell.
I believe, on the catch is what they've said on the PA system, so we'll go with that. Down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 here for the Miners now.
Did a great job of keeping his feet tiptoeing on the sideline there.
I really thought the ball was just being thrown away.
Yeah.
Tyler was being pressured there. He was rolling out, and I just kind of thought he threw it away. Nice catch by Clothier.
Tyler will carry an option fake out.
Tyler this time takes it. He gives it up the middle to Mason. He lowers his head, rolls into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, he gets a ball of steam going, puts his shoulders down. It's almost impossible to stop him. Bulls over for the score at the 6:18 mark.
Garrett Mason with the 9-yard touchdown run. 6:18 to go in the first quarter. Miners go on top 12-0 now. Wilson back on for the extra point.
Well,
Last time he hit the right upright. Very unusual miss. Snap good, ball down, kick up, and that looked much better. So the kick good this time by Luke Wilson. So with 6:18 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 13, North Central nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. Ream dealer. Call Monty at Goodman Heating for a free estimate. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Gene Hall and Gordon Wright at Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your friends at Farm Bureau Insurance. Becky, Erica, Gene, or Gordon. Go Miners from Farm Bureau Insurance, serving the Linton area for over 40 years.
6 plays, 66 yards, a minute 15 on that drive. 2 drives for the Miners, 2 scores.
North Central with that big turnover looked like they were going to move the ball a little bit. They got good field position. They moved it down to the 37, but the big interception by Muir. Now the Miners with the 2-score lead. And that, we've talked is that
get on top,
get up there and kind of changes what they have to do a little bit. Wilson has it teed up at the 40-yard line. And he approaches the ball and kind of dribble kicks it up the middle, fielded at about the 35-yard line, and immediately swarmed over by the Miners.
Do they think they got a little bit of a speaking to on the sideline there?
Might have after that last kick that got returned out near the 48, trying to see what the number is.
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's
that.
either 16 or 18. It's either Basinger or I'm going to say that's Basinger, number 18.
Those uniforms start getting dirty here in a minute. It's really going to be tough to tell who's who. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Linton Veterinary Hospital and Dr. Whitman, treating all creatures big and small. Dr. Whitman is located next to CVS in Linton and says, go Miners. Back to the 3-back set for North Central here. 1 wide receiver to the near side, Cooch under center. And the Miners again jump, but they don't go into the neutral zone this time. The handoff comes to the near side. And going to be ran out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. That's Dawson Basinger on the carry.
That's his first carry outside, and Muir was blitzing from the safety, almost got him. Didn't get enough of him. He was able to really get a fairly decent gain for the T-Birds. Chased out of bounds, looks like by Jackson, number 8.
I was looking at the wrong chain. He picked up quite a bit of yardage there, so a 9-yard pickup. Going to put the ball out at the 30, or the 43-yard line, rather.
Yeah, that could have been a play for loss.
Right up the middle, going to get first down yardage.
Yeah, they give it to him.
I think that was just Cooch straight ahead there on that play. So the quarterback keep, nets the first down, takes it out to the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10, North Central. One wide receiver to the near side, 3 backs in the backfield with Cooch. He's under center again. Takes the snap, hands it off. Ball loose on the ground. Cooch going to fall back onto the 40-yard line. He faked the handoff up the middle and went to hand it to the other wide receiver. It popped out of his hand. And that'll be a 5-yard loss for North Central on 1st down.
Yeah, it looked to me like he was going to pitch it out. There wasn't anybody there, and it just fell on the ground.
So 2nd down and 15 now.
Well, that's a drive killer when that happens. Now you're looking at 2nd and 15, like you say, from your own 15 or 45-yard line. But North Central's already had more success now than they did in the first one.
Looking at the sideline, get the play. Cooch under center, 3 backs lined up straight across behind him in the backfield, 1 wide receiver to the near side. Play clock down to 5. Cooch takes a snap. Quick pass to the right side, knocked down. Tried to hit the tight end quickly over there.
Yeah, it almost looked like it went right into a Miner's hands. Not sure who that even hit there, if there was even anybody over there.
That pass was thrown so fast, I don't hardly think anybody had time to react.
No.
2 wide receivers this time go to the right, 1 to the near.
Quick score.
Now 2. Go ahead.
7-7, North Vermilion and South Putnam in the first quarter.
So 2 wide receivers to each side. Single back in the backfield. Cooch goes to the shotgun formation. Down to 8 on the play clock this time. Miners show blitz, and passing to the left side is Cooch going to be picked off right into the hands of Mitch Eberhardt at the 45. He returns it into Miner territory. A flag there. Going to be a penalty on the Miners, I'm sure, here after the interception. So the Miners will keep possession, their 2nd interception of the night.
Yeah, that one was an easy one. Mitch Eberhardt was intended for Trey Thompson, and it just hit him 21 right in the hands, and he returns it, what's it back down to, about the 36-yard line.
So they're going to have a hole on the Miners here, so they'll back it up 10 yards. We'll see where they put it. That'll help show where the ball was. So, whoa, he takes it all the way back to midfield. So I guess he returned it to about the 40. So Miners will take over again at midfield, already leading 13-0 here with 4:55 left in the opening quarter. 2 wide receivers to each side, empty backfield. Actually 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the near. Muir, empty backfield out of the shotgun. Going to look to throw, comes to the right side, caught by Clothier. Turns it upfield and takes a shot. And they're going to mark that into North Central territory. See where they lay it down out there. They're going to put it down at the 47, so a pick up a 3 there, and Clothier took a pretty good shot.
Well, Thompson had him down low by the ankles, and he wasn't going anywhere, and was kind of a sitting duck when J.T. Basinger came over and put a nice legal hit on him. Didn't lead with the head or anything, but that fired up the North Central crowd.
Empty backfield again. This time a quick pass out in the flat to Jackson on the left side. Breaks a tackle, breaks another.
Goodness.
Now he's headed down the left sideline. And he's going to get it still on his feet.
I
thought he was down, and he's going to take it in. I stopped talking because I thought he was down. I was looking to see where they were going to spot the ball.
I was getting ready to look up number 6 because he had him dragging him down, and he keeps his footing, and he ends up going down the sideline. What looks like a 47-yard touchdown play that really was about 45 yards of Pierce Jackson running.
Just a quick little pass out in the flat, and Pierce takes it all the way in down the left sideline and puts the Miners on top here, 19-0.
Well, despite what still a pretty good effort by the North Central team already tonight, better than the initial game, but we're looking at 19-0 right now.
Wilson on for the extra point. And they're going to fake it this time. Passing, rolling out to the right side.
There.
Fires the pass, and it's going to be knocked down. So the run fails that time for the Miners on the extra point. So with 4:10 left here in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top of North Central 19-0. We'll keep it here. Let you know that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Sportsman's Pub on Main Street in Linton, offering steaks, seafood, and salads. Dine in or carry out at Sportsman's Pub in downtown Linton. Also brought to you in part by Elliott Insurance on Main Street in downtown Linton. Proud to be a Linton Miners sponsor. Elliott Insurance says, go Miners. Well, that was a rather quick turnaround there after Eberhard interception. The Miners just a couple of plays to go 50 yards. Put more points on the board here, 19-0 in the opening quarter.
Well, that didn't look like there was even anybody out. Was it a high snap, or do you think it was a called 2-point play?
Almost looked called to me. It's hard to tell. The snapper has his back to us, or the holder rather has his back to us here. It looked like a reasonable snap, and he got up pretty quickly there. So may have been trying to get that point back that they lost earlier. Wilson has it teed up again at the 40-yard line. Gets ready to kick it again back to North Central. See where we go this time. Last time it was just a rolling kick straight up the middle. It is again this time. Takes a bounce, takes another bounce. Fielded about the 33-yard line, coming to the near side, turning it upfield and into North Central territory. I believe that is J.T. Basinger. And another good field position again for North Central.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the kickoff return team. That's 2 times now they've got the ball back in good field position. Billy Smith's going to make the tackle, Bill Smith. But it started on the other side of the field, the Miner side, and was able to catch that ball and run to the near side and get around the corner.
All the way to the 48 of the Miners. So good field position again for North Central. They've looked like they were going to be able to move the ball a little bit, but turnovers have really hurt them. 3 backs in the backfield. Cooch under center, takes the snap, going to hand it off up the middle. And I believe, see who gets up. It is Thompson this time on the carry.
Fairly impossible to see who made that tackle. A whole bunch of Miners there. T. Pig, one of them there, along with Chance Howard.
2-yard pickup, going to make it 2nd down and 8 for the Thunderbirds. Cooch looks to the sideline to get the play. Going to keep the 3 backs in the backfield, 1 wide receiver to the near side. 2nd down and 8. 3:26 left in the opening quarter, and now we got movement on North Central, so that'll back them up 5 yards. Put them back into their own territory at the 49-yard line. And bring up a 2nd down and 13.
Well, North Vermillion has now taken a 14-7 lead on 2 long touchdown runs, I'm told. So the speed evidently coming to play there, probably Jacob Earl.
North Central again looking to the sideline, the clock running. I think part of their strategy is to keep the Miner offense off the field, use that play clock. 3 wide receivers in the backfield, 1 wide receiver to the near side. There's the snap, handoff, and the Miners practically beat the handoff there that time to the running back. Going to be for a loss. We'll see where they put it. They drive him all the way back to the 40-yard line.
Mason and Howard both, like you say, could have been running the other way with that ball. That was handed off to
on the carry. And he ends up, they mark it at the 47, of maybe a generous spot, so a 2-yard loss. Now we got a stoppage of play here. Officials timeout. Somebody tying their shoe. Tonight's game brought to you in part by McDonald's in Linton, offering all-day breakfast. Stop in before or after the game. McDonald's in Linton, open till 1 a.m.
0 for 2 on 3rd downs for the T-Birds. In fact, the last 3rd down was an interception thrown by Cooch to Eberhard. 2 interceptions tonight he's thrown.
Well, you don't do yourself any favors when it's 3rd and 15.
No.
Clock running again. The play clock at 15 right now as North Central takes their time getting the play in. 1 wide receiver to the near side, 3 to the far. Single back joins Cooch in the backfield out of the shotgun. Miners show blitz on the edge. Now Cooch going to keep it up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets it back into Miner territory, not in anywhere near a 1st down. Back past the original back past the original place where they started from, down to the 47-yard line.
Jackson wrapped up Cooch, who put a move on at the line and was able to get a little bit of free movement. That's Cooch's 3rd carry in this contest. He hardly carried it all on the first one.
So 4th and 9 here. North Central but they have to go for it. They're in Miner territory. They're down 19-0. So they have to go for it. 3 wide receivers again to the right, 1 to the left.
Oh, McCombs, the tight end, is way out there. He's the big target.
Cooch out of the shotgun. Single back joins him. And now we got movement again. So both the Miners and North Central, I don't see who moved first there. The referees confer. And it's going to be offsides on the Miners, so a 5-yard walk-off. Going to take it down to the 42-yard line and make it 4th down and 4.
Much more doable, 4th and 4.
So they keep the 3 wide receivers far, 1 to the near. Out of the shotgun, Cooch. Single back in the backfield.
Now they are taking their sweet time. Let
They
that
really
clock
are.
roll out.
Clock's down to 1:12 here left in the first quarter. Play clock at 10. I think that's when they're deciding to send the play in, is at 10. Let the players look at their wristbands, and they usually snap it pretty close to 1. There's the snap. Cooch going to keep it again. Tries to get it to the right side, and he's going to get the first down. Going to get it down to the 40 or 37-yard line, rather. Another North Central first down, a 5-yard pickup. So 1st and 10 for North Central.
Williams and Trent are going to be the 2 guys that make that tackle, but he had a little bit of room to make something happen, and North Central converts.
55 on the game clock, 25 on the play clock, and I'm sure they're going to run it down again here. Cooch all the way over to the sideline. Looks like he might be banged up a little bit here, kind of reached for his left shoulder.
Well, you know, he had that broken collarbone in week 1 and came back a few weeks ago.
Play clock at 4. Boy, got there quickly. So North Central going to have to take a timeout. We'll leave it here. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. Looking to reduce your TV bill? Call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite in Linton to sign up for Dish Network. Packages starting as low as $19.99 a month. Includes free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. He will even pay $50 on your first bill. Again, don't call out-of-state numbers. Call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite, 847-8848. I see you hitting that phone over there pretty hard, Dan.
Yeah,
that scores.
That North Vermillion-South Putnam game really sounds like a doozy. Now it's 14-13, and my source is telling me that South Putnam is doing it through the air, which is not something that they normally do. So that sounds like that's going to be an up-and-down contest.
And I know you've been talking for several weeks that could be everybody seems to think it's going to be Linton, North Vermillion, North Vermillion, and don't want to discount West Washington or North Decatur by any stretch, but you've not discounted South Putnam all year.
No. Hey, you still got to think about Indy Lutheran that's hanging around in Sectional 46.
Back to the 3 backs in the backfield, single wide receiver to the near side. Cooch under center, takes the snap, gives it to Thompson. He drops it.
Oh, the Miners may have it.
The Miners do indeed have it. Looks like Pierce Jackson comes up with the
3 turnovers, boy.
North Central has moved the football some, but they've shot themselves in the foot all 3 possessions, 2 interceptions and now a fumble. And the Miners going to take back over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was right there. I want to say Avery Gentry, but the fumble certainly recovered by Pierce Jackson, the senior, and ends another drive and the Miner side of the ball. 26 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Empty backfield, jet sweep this time. Jackson coming to the near side, jumps over a defender at the 45, gets it out to the midfield stripe, and it'll be a first down for the Miners.
Well, the Miners go so quickly that it's almost impossible to keep up on the stat sheets.
That was always Coach Weber when he was here. That was his goal. He told me he wanted to go fast enough. I couldn't keep track on the sideline. And, boy, right now the Miners, when there's a change of possession, they get that offense out there and they go.
Now you say that was Pierce Jackson that carried that.
Yes, Eberhard in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Muir keeps it up the middle this time to the 40, down to the 36, maybe the 35-yard line, and another Miner first down, as that'll be the last play probably of the first quarter. So they do mark it at the 35, another 15-yard pickup. 7 seconds on the clock. The Miners going to get another play off here. They wind it, 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield. Muir rolls out right, fires the pass over, and it's incomplete.
That's intended for Chad Trent, number 10. Reached up, probably could have made the catch. Almost intercepted out there by Larimer.
Well, that's going to do it for the first quarter. At the end of 1 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 19, North Central 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. High School. Darren Clayton alongside Dan Phillips. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Shea Lynn's Florist and Gift Shop, located at 69 North Main in downtown Linton. Shea Lynn's is proud of our Linton Miners and says good luck tonight. The game also brought to you in part by Skinner's Towing in Linton, your 24-hour wrecker service, and featuring a secured storage facility. Skinner's Towing says go Miners.
Well, that first quarter, Darren, the Miners had 10 first downs to North Central's 3. We had 194 yards to North Central's 27. But the big telling stat is clearly 3 turnovers by North Central, 2 interceptions, and a fumble is what's really hurt them.
It really seemed like they had more than 27 yards. Of course, they had great field position 2 of their 3 drives, and just it seemed like they moved the ball, but I guess they didn't have to go far.
Had a 10-yard run by Froschauer, and then they had a 9-yard run by Basinger.
Eberhardt to the near side on the sweep, diss it down to the 30-yard line, or 20-yard line rather, before being tackled. So another Miner first down.
Just going to the outside quite a bit, not going up the middle a whole lot. Mason not carrying the ball but a couple of times, but they're having success. The ball right at the 20 of North Central.
Yeah, as soon as they make the adjustment, you know what's going to happen. It'll be another Mason touchdown up the gut. So
that's 3 carries now, 40 yards for Mitch Eberhardt.
Normal set for the Miners, and this time they do indeed give it to Mason. He cuts it out to the right side, and he's going to be brought down. He might have got a yard that time.
McCombs and Dawson Basinger, the linebacker, got in there quick that time.
So they'll give him a yard down to the 19-yard line, bring up 2nd down and 9. And Miners without a wide receiver right now, so they got double tight end set for the Miners, a little bit different. Got Miller and Figley both in at tight end. Clothier out of the game right now. Otherwise, the Miners in their normal set, 2 wings. Jackson in motion. They pitch it to him going to the right side. Turns it up the field and tackled from behind. Might have got it down to about the 15-yard line. Maybe the only way you can tackle him is from behind like that.
That was McCombs, 88, coming in from the defensive tackle position to make that tackle.
So they put it down, looks like at the 15. Another 4-yard pickup will make it 3rd down and 5 now for the Miners.
Miners are 1 for 3 on 3rd downs tonight. Been very successful this year on the 3rd down conversions.
Out of the shotgun, Muir takes the snap, gives it up the middle to Mason. Brings it to the left side, bowls his way ahead, and should have the yardage for the first down. Going to get it inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Miners.
Power running for Mason on the inside. He was dragging Luke Turner, a freshman, 5'10", 160, who we didn't see at all in the game in week 9, but he's played quite a bit since then.
So 1st and goal now for the Miners, their first possession here of the 2nd quarter. Mason to the left of Muir. They continue with the 2 tight ends. They give it to Eberhardt. He cuts it up the middle and going to take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Mitch Eberhardt scoring from 9 yards out with 10:22 left here in the first half. So Eberhardt gives the Miners a 25-0 lead with that run.
That was a nice 8-play, 61-yard drive for the Miners. It converted a 3rd down play.
Wilson back out for the extra point. Last time we ran the fire play. This time we can see the snap. The holder faces us going this direction. Miners going right to left. The snap is good. The hold is down. Kick is up, and it's good. So Wilson adds the extra point. So with 10:22 left in the 2nd quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 26, North Central 0. We'll keep it here and let you know that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes in Linton and Duggar, and the new Ming Family Funeral Home opening soon on Highway 58 in Odin, serving you with funeral pre-planning and at-need service since 1930. Anderson Poindexter Funeral Home, a name you've learned to trust. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Grunman's on 7th Street in Vincennes. Work shoes and boots from people who know shoes and boots. Grunman's, custom footwear since 1929, and where they still offer shoe and boot repair.
The Miners have had nice three nice drives in this first half of action and have 152 yards of rushing, 49 yards from Eberhardt, 43 from Jackson, 35 from Mason, 25 from Muir. So that's a pretty good split between 4 backs. 4 or 5 passing for 69 yards, 2 of those to Jackson, 2 of those to Jacob Clothier.
Well, you don't get much more balance than that.
Sure
when
don't.
you look across the way there for all what the Miners have as Wilson tees it up again on the 40-yard line.
And that double tight end formation is something that we haven't really seen. I do see Jacob Clothier about the 42 standing there fine, so definitely running a little bit of a power offense.
Wilson's kick this time a little higher, a little deeper, going to be fielded at about the 22-yard line, and the North Central running back falls down. And that was number 2, Dawson Basinger, on the return. So a little better kick coverage that time by the Miners.
Yeah, they've had 2 nice returns. That's given them real good field position, but this time they'll start from their own 34-yard line.
29, I believe.
29-yard line.
29-yard
That's
line.
what I meant to say.
1st and 10, North Central. 1 wide receiver to the far side this time. They go back to the 3 backs in the backfield set. That's been their predominant set. Now they bring the wide receiver in motion across to the near side of the field as Cooch is under center. Takes the snap and gives it right up the gut and nowhere to go. Might have got a yard out of that. May have just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Froschauer carried that right up and was met nose to nose by Miner linebacker Avery Gentry and driven backwards.
They mark it at the 30. They'll give him a yard, make it 2nd down and 9, and see if North Central continues to use that play clock here. They'll try to keep that Miner offense off the field. But that's fine, but you got to put some points on the board if you're going to do that. They've definitely not been able to do that. Now they're going to go a little quicker than what they have been. And now the handoff to the left side and immediately shut down again at the 30-yard line.
And that's the area that you see Figley and Kendall Williams usually combine. And
Dawson Basinger on the carry for North Central that time. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 here for North Central. They'll go back to the shotgun. They bring 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Get the play from the sideline. So Cooch takes the snap, looks to the right side, fires it out in the flat, and it's going to be, I think that was actually supposed to go to Trey Thompson, but end up Froschauer kind of tried to catch that instead, and the Miners right there to defend it. It'll bring up 4th down now.
yeah, I believe we had pressure from Figley that came in from the left defensive end spot and forced him to throw that ball out there a little bit. And Kendall Williams was out there, number 22.
Well, Ian McCombs is going to go back into punt formation, and you said the last time these two teams met, it wasn't pretty in the punt formation.
It was not pretty for North Central. 2 block punts, a punt return for a touchdown. It was an ugly day for the punting squad.
There's the snap. It's good. And the punt
As
is
you
blocked
see, it's
again.
blocked.
And the ball comes to the near side there. The punt was blocked by Kendall Williams. And the ball going to go out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So the Miners will take over with great field position. And, Dan, for your statistical purpose, give Kendall Williams a punt return.
Kendall Williams, I've got him.
A 0-yard punt and a 6-yard return to the 24-yard line. So the Miners will have it 1st and 10 at the North Central 24 with 8:53 left here in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, leading 26-0.
Well, this is what happened last time, just every time they tried.
Rolls to the right, fires it out there, and I believe that is, I don't know if that Jackson or Clothier, hard to tell. Gets down near the 10-yard line. I believe that's Clothier on the catch. Yeah, Jacob Clothier with the catch. And it'll be 1st down for the Miners, and they're going to spot it outside the 10-yard line so they can get another 1st down. Looks like it's going to be on the 12, so 1st and 10 for the Miners.
Well, Clothier has been quite active in this first half of action now. That's 3 catches, 27 yards. We're so used to calling touchdowns after he makes a catch.
Mason up the middle again, and he gets it down inside the 5-yard line. Not quite another 1st down. Looks like they'll give him about 8 yards, so they'll probably mark it on the 4 there. Going to bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Miners.
Froschauer was on that tackle, the only one that stopped him from getting in the end zone.
Clothier wide to the right. They bring Jackson out wide to the left.
That's a different look.
Muir takes a snap, fires it over to the end zone to Jackson.
Oh,
nice
my goodness.
catch by Pierce Jackson in the end zone on the left side, and the ball was kind of underthrown, or it was high, but it was short of where Pierce was, and he made a nice adjustment and a great catch.
Well, clearly they've worked on that very play, because whenever Pierce came out one-on-one, he looked over and waved at almost like telling Tyler, hurry up and run this play. Like you said, it's the old fade play. He just threw it purposefully through it, banking that the defender's not going to be watching the ball, and he wasn't. And Pierce made a nice leaping catch and a nice touchdown. There's a snap.
Bad snap this time. Passing brings it to the left side, fires it into the end zone, and it's no good. So the Miners usually pretty solid on the extra points. That's, if you want to look at a negative so far here, that's probably been it. That's the third one miss now, 2 on pass fails and 1 on a missed kick. So as a result, with 7:50 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners are on top, 32-0. Here's a reminder from Highcom Security Services in Lyons. Protecting your home, your business, your family, and your property is as easy as calling Highcom. Highcom offers cutting-edge technology, affordability, and service by local people you know and trust. Call sales manager Derek McKee to find out more. That number is 800-819-8141, or online it's callhighcom.com. That's CALLHICOM.com.
3 plays, 23 yards, a minute, 3 seconds for the Miners to put that one in the end zone. The result of a blocked punt.
Yep. So special teams, the Miners just continue to do it in all kinds of ways. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Kramer's Tree Service in Linton for all your residential and commercial tree needs, plus stump grinding and free estimates. Good luck, Miners, from Kramer's Tree Service. Wilson has it teed up again on the 40-yard line.
West Washington North Decatur is still 0-0, and after each team has had the ball 1 time.
Wilson approaches it. Nice hard kick this time. Fielded at about the 15-yard line. North Central looking for some running room. That's Trey Thompson. And he gets it out to the 34-yard line. Give it to 34 this time, Dave.
Yeah. Keaton Cox, number 4. I believe Noah Clark, number 80, all getting out there. But better coverage. You know, you come down on that head hunting the kickoff team. You want to make the hit, and sometimes you over pursue. You get out of your lanes, and that's what lets these returns come back. You have to stay true to your lanes as you're coming out, and if you do that correctly, that usually winds up with a nice coverage.
And I believe we got a new quarterback this time around. So Cooch, trying to see. He's on the sideline here at about the 29-yard line. He's kind of been holding that shoulder. So Thompson going to come in at quarterback now. He takes the snap, and he's going to be immediately met by Dylan Morris in the backfield. Going to be about a 4-yard loss on the play.
Well, you pointed it out that he was kind of holding that shoulder a little bit, and the way he's looking, it doesn't look like he's going to be coming back in the game. Thompson, of course, played quarterback for several snaps. Thing is, I don't know if that's Thompson or is that Froschauer.
Number 4, Thompson.
Oh, yes, I see.
Thompson. Froschauer's in the backfield. Thompson's, I believe, stepping in at quarterback. He took the snap the last time, and that's going to cause some disorganization. A play clock at 10. Now they get the play in. Thompson going to step up under center, down to 3 on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. 3 backs in the backfield. He takes the snap, hands it off, coming to the near side with a little bit of running room back to the 35-yard line, and that is number 2, Dawson Basinger on the carry. So he gets it to the 36-yard line, gets 6 yards back, and makes it 3rd down and 8.
Trey Passon, he and Fonseca. Fonseca now out there for Jackson at inside linebacker. Should mention that Chance Howard is now playing that defensive tackle position. So we'll have to keep an eye out there where T. Pig was, make sure he's okay.
It kind of looks like the offense for North Central just seems out of sync. Even when they have the snap, it just seems like some people go and some people are slow and just a little out of sync. Thompson back under center with 3 backs joining him. Hand off to the left side again to Basinger. He's going to get stopped short of the 40 at about the 39. It's going to bring up another 4th down here for North Central. And, you know, if your punt's going to get blocked, you're almost better off going for it. 4th down and 6. They do indeed keep the offense out there. They bring on a new lineman. That's Luke Passmore, a 5'10 freshman, 200 pounds.
I think he's the snapper. He was down here practicing snapping.
And now they are going to line up for the punt.
Jersey's mighty white and clean.
Is that the same person back to punt as last time? Ian McCombs. There's the snap. It's good. There's the kick. It's a high punt. Going to be fielded by Muir at about the 31-yard line. Looks for running room. Takes it now towards the far side of the field. Trying to get around the defender. Breaks the tackle. Gets it to midfield. Down to the 45, the 40, 35, 30. Cuts it back across, and he's going to score.
Why do they kick it to him?
All the way in. He fielded it to 31. We'll call it a 69-yard return on the punt. Tyler Muir puts the Miners on top, 38-0.
Well, that don't make a whole lot of sense why you kicked it right to him after saying you wouldn't go into, but boy, that was a big play. Just a great effort, good blocking downfield.
So Wilson on for another extra point as the Miners continue to score in a variety of ways. There's the snap. It's good. Hold down, kick up, and good. So Wilson adds an extra point. So with 5:10 left here in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, Linton 39, North Central 0. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Shields Hardware in Linton, featuring the area's largest selection of electrical needs, hardware and plumbing supplies, as well as paint and paint supplies. Shields Hardware says, go Miners. Also brought to you in part by Key Associates of Linton and Connie Puckett, located on Main Street, a proud sponsor of the Linton Miners. Key Associates backing the Miners all the way. Well, Dan, they said they weren't going to kick it to him, and boy, they made the mistake and did. He caught it on the near side of the field, took it all the way over to the far side of the field, and almost ended up back on the near side of the field. We need that ESPN tracker to see just how many yards he ran to go 69 for the touchdown. So Wilson back out to kick it off again.
That's Tyler's second, I believe, punt return for touchdown. And it just all the air is kind of going out of this side of this sideline.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, they've not been able to capitalize on good field position. 3 turnovers, a blocked punt, and then a punt that is returned for a touchdown as a result of their 5 possessions. This time a high kick comes down at about the 22-yard line. Fielded on the left side by Basinger. Takes it up the left sideline, has running room, and again, North Central, good field position.
Keaton Cox saves another long return, has 3 decent returns. He was able to get around that far side safety measure, the guy that's supposed to be contained. Showed some good speed down the sideline, and again, they're around midfield. 40.
Going to mark it at the 46, so he stepped out a little sooner than it looked like from over here. 1st and 10, North Central, 46-yard line. And looking at the sideline here, and Thompson appears to be staying at Yakuch.
Yeah, he's
here just over the 50-yard line, standing on the sideline. So Thompson back at quarterback. Three running backs are going to join him in the backfield. 1 wide receiver to the far side. Down to 5 on the play clock. Thompson steps under center, takes the snap, hands it off up the gut. And a little bit of running room this time as they cut back out to the left side, get it over into Miner territory. And I believe that's going to be Froschauer on the carry. So he gets it to the Miner 48-yard line.
Eberhardt comes up from the quarterback to make that tackle.
Now Doc Wilson's coming over here to the North Central side. See if he's going to take a look at Cooch when he gets over here. It's going to be 2nd down and about 6.
Well, you just get the feeling Cooch does not want any part of this getting looked at.
Yeah, he's kind of hesitant to go, but that is indeed who Doc Wilson's talking to. As Thompson goes up under center again, takes the snap, hands it off to Froschauer, looking to get running room to the left. Now comes back to the right side, and the Miners stay home. Kendall Williams right there to greet him. Nice job by Kendall to hold where he was supposed to be.
Well, you said it exactly. It stayed home. He didn't trail the play by trying to chase it. Stayed back, and Froschauer tried to cut back and ran into Kendall, who had a North Central blocker right in his face.
So 3rd down and 5 here from the 48-yard line.
Well, you hope the Cooch kid is okay if he plays any other sports. You know, that collarbone, the way that left arm is kind of dangling down there.
Right now they're not checking anything, just having conversation on the sideline.
Yeah.
No wide receivers this time. 2 tight ends set. Handoff goes to Basinger headed to the left side, cuts it up, gets it near the 45, but not near the first down. And it'll bring up another 4th down for the Thunderbirds.
Popping up is Chad Trent and Figley, number 5.
They're going to put it at the 45, a pick up a 3, and it'll make it 4th down and 2 for North Central here. Do want to mention, talking about the injury down here, Dad is here tonight.
Oh,
so
is he?
He's out. He's down in the wheelchair, down on the far side, or in the south end zone.
Oh,
so
man, let's hope we don't see a long play happen. Somebody's manning a wheelchair, aren't they?
So glad he was able to come up here. He came up and watched from the car a couple of weeks ago when we played Tell City. He didn't make the long trip to Perry Central last week, but decided to come up and get out tonight. And
timeout call by North Central, and about the same time you see now they're lifting up Cooch's jersey, so you know they're going to check that collarbone.
yeah, absolutely. Like you said, if he plays any other sports, which is a good likelihood, at a small school that he probably does for a good athlete, but hopefully he's all right. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Welch and Cornett Funeral Homes, congratulating the Miners on another great season and says good luck in the tournament. Also brought to you in part by Eugene Martin, Public Accountant in Linton.
Nice.
Gene says, best of luck, Miners. We're backing you as always. So the North Central timeout here, a big 4th down play for them. 2:56 left. This game is, it's over. But for them, they're obviously wanting to put some points on the board and leave here with a positive with all the young kids that they have. And
yeah, he's very high on the team that the kids he's got coming up. Cooch is one of those guys, just a junior quarterback, and you can see he's in a lot of pain.
Thompson under center, 3 backs, takes the snap, going to keep it himself, tries to go to the left side, and I don't think he's going to make it. We'll see where they spot it here. It's hard to tell for sure, but it just didn't look like he had enough to get what he needed. The referee's looking over. My guess is we'll have a measurement. North Central, of course, they're hoping for that 1st down.
Yeah, they're looking
now
for
they're going to stop the clock. They're going to bring out the chains. So while they do that, tonight's game brought to you in part by Sullivan Automotive Group with 7 franchises under one roof. Highway 41 in Sullivan, home of the 6 days a week service department. Also brought to you in part by Linton Family Pharmacy, now offering several kinds of vaccinations. Call to learn more. Linton Pharmacy, a proud Miner supporter. See them at lintonrx.com. So they bring out the chains and first down, right at it. So North Central able to pick up the 2 yards they need for the 1st down. So they'll mark it at about the 44-yard line.
Well, they're just happy that might be able to allow them to get through the remainder of the quarter without giving the Miners the ball. And like you said, they dearly love to put some points on the board. And
2:52 is what's left. The clock stopped right now till they get the ball spotted. Now it'll start into motion. 25-second play clock moving, and Thompson steps under center with 3 backs behind him. And they're going to hand it off to Basinger, headed to the left side, turns it up, and may have gotten a couple yards. I think North Central's taken out a wide receiver, Dan. Looks like they've gone to the extra tight end, trying to just power run it.
yeah, they're just going to the left side every single play, which is the opposite side of Dylan Morris. And we see Gerald's number 77 out, defensive tackle over there. Figley racking up quite a bit of tackles because they're coming right at him.
A yard pickup on that play for Basinger. Make it 2nd down and 9 as the clock winds down near the 2-minute mark. Thompson came to the sideline to get the play, makes his way back out to the line of scrimmage. Will move up under center with 3 backs. Takes the snap, going to hand it off. He keeps it himself, cuts it up the field, gets it inside the 40 down to about the 39, so he faked the handoff that time. And get about 4 yards down to the 39-yard line.
A little jolt of speed there. Chance Howard gets him by the ankles, but he definitely has some speed when he gets out the open territory, as we've seen.
So 3rd down and a long 4 here as Thunderbirds continue to look to the sideline for the plays. Down to 1.5 minutes on the game clock, 13 on the play clock.
Well, that North Decatur, West Washington is a game. It's zip at the end of 1.
Thompson under center, takes the snap, gives it this time to Froschauer, and he's going to be stopped quickly at the 39-yard line, maybe even back to the 40, as now the Miners, I believe, are going to stop the clock as it'll be 4th down. So the Miners take the timeout with 1:11 left here.
Well, it's good to practice that clock management. You like to see your team operate in a small amount of time on there.
So back to the 40. With 1:11 left on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Miners on top 39-0. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Baszler's Market in Linton, featuring great weekly grocery specials and a wonderful selection of produce. Baszler's proudly supports the Linton Miners.
Well, if you don't know by now, folks, listen, I have a completely stopped up head and got a cold, so it's probably only going to get worse as the night goes on. But fortunately, I'm not sneezing yet.
Yeah, hopefully we won't get on a sneezing fit here.
Barrage. Take a quick look at the numbers real fast. 46 yards rushing is all North Central has. Basinger and Froschauer each with 18.
I don't think they have a completed pass,
Nope,
only to us, right?
0 for 4 is all we got going there.
2 of them completed to the Miners early in the ball game. 4th down and 6 here now. Ball marked at the 40-yard line. There's the snap. Thompson going to look to throw. Comes to the right side and picked off again. Kendall Williams at about the 37-yard line. Now there's a penalty flag flying. Williams going to be tackled at the North Central 39. There's a flag on the play. The Miners will keep the football, but they're going to get backed up with a penalty here. So that ball was picked off where at about the 32, 33-yard line, I believe. And Kendall Williams with the pick. So the Miners with the penalty.
Well, that's the Miners had 12 interceptions coming into this contest. Now with 15, the ball going to end up right at the 50-yard line.
So they spotted the 50. The Miners with 1:01 to try to put in more points, and I don't know what we got. 1 or 2 timeouts left here.
Got 1 for sure, 2 for sure. So this is kind of good to work on this minute offense.
Sure. I mean, maybe not in a game like tonight where it's 39-0, but you know later on it could be something you need to do to get points on the board. So wide receiver Chad Trent to the near side, Clothier to the far side. So no tight end this time for the Miners. Their other normal set. Muir rolls out right, fires it out to Clothier, catches it at about the 45, and he's going to be out of bounds at around the 40, right at the first down marker.
Chase Wisley is now in the contest, a sophomore at 6'160", must be taking Cooch's place at that quarterback spot.
So they mark it at the 41, a yard short of the first down, a 9-yard pickup. 56 seconds still left, and the clock stopped because he got out of bounds. Chad Trent again to the near side, Clothier to the far side. Eberhardt, Mason Jackson in motion this time. They give it to Eberhardt coming to the left side. He turns the corner at the 40 to the 35 and runs out of bounds at the 30. Good heads-up play by Mitch.
Smart move. Knew he wasn't going to get a whole lot more out of that and heads out of bounds.
Picks up another Miner first down to the 30-yard line. Oh, they're going to mark it at the 31, so a 10-yard run.
That's 59 yards for Mitch. That makes him a back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing year for him.
48 seconds remain now. 2 wide receivers again. Muir rolls out to the right, fakes the pass. Now he throws it deep for Clothier. He's wide open, makes the catch, and into the end zone.
Ooh,
little pump fake, and the defender bit on it, and Clothier with the stop-and-go move there, the double move. And with 40 seconds even left here, the Miners put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that pump fake play work better than that. 8 of 9, 124 yards is Muir. His percentage already was 62% coming into this game. It's going to be even higher than that.
Back on again for the extra point is Wilson. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and right through there. So Luke Wilson adds an extra point. And with 40 seconds left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 46, North Central 0. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. back once again at Linton High School. The Miners get ready to kick off again. They're very much in control of this ball game, 46-0 with 40 seconds left in the first half on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, and they've scored about every way you can imagine.
Every which way but loose.
Yeah. Little Clint Eastwood. Wilson has it teed up, gets ready to approach. We'll see what the Miners do. This has been one of the struggle areas tonight.
Yes.
You know, Coach Oliver always looking for things to work on. And this kick here's another squib kick. Gets down to the 25-yard line, fielded there by North Central. Nowhere to go, and finally just wrapped up. Ends up with a no-yard return. Just wasn't anywhere to go there, trying to get the number on the returner. Looks like 0, but I don't think that's right.
Froschauer, number 9.
Number 9, Froschauer, yeah.
He got a healthy dose of Chance Howard, the sophomore. Locked him up. Like you say, he tried to go one way and the other way. Out to the 35-yard line. Score update, I believe. I thought they said halftime. Let me check. But either way, it's a 28-13 lead now by the North Vermilion Falcons over South Putnam. So they're staking some claim. Yeah, 28-13. Don't know if it's halftime there or not.
So North Central has it. 1st and 10 at the 25. 33 seconds. May only have to run one play here, and they'll be happy to get to the locker room, I think. Thompson takes the snap, hands it off, going to the left side. And they may lose a yard on that, and that'll probably be the last play of the half. Looks like they're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage maybe. So 2nd down and 10. The game clock at 13 seconds. The play clock at 20, so they don't have to run another play, and I don't think they're going to. 5, 4, 3, and at the half on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 46, North Central nothing. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the halftime show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports. Action, and at the half on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners up 46-0. They put their first points on the board with 8:45 left in the first quarter. Tyler Muir with a 7-yard run. The extra point was a missed kick, a rarity for Luke Wilson this year. 6-0 in favor of the Miners. They scored again just a couple of minutes later, the 6:18 mark of the first quarter. This time it was Garrett Mason from 9 yards out. Wilson this time added the extra point to make it 13-0. 4:10 left in the first quarter. They score again. Pierce Jackson on a 47-yard pass from Muir. Actually, it was like a 2-yard pass and a 45-yard run. And this time the Miners tried a pass on the extra point that was no good, making it 19-0 at the end of the first quarter. 10:22 to go in the second quarter. Mitch Eberhard on a 9-yard run. Wilson added the extra point, made it 26-0 in favor of the.
The game looking nice tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're really distributing that ball well, like you said, getting everybody involved, just playing a really, really sound game so far. And defensively, North Central just can't get anything going. They've tried to pass 5 times, 3 interceptions. They just can't get anything going, that's for sure.
The line of scrimmage obviously being controlled by the Miners. Good field position for North Central. Probably one of the gripes tonight will be that kickoff return coverage.
Yeah, we've had a couple breakdowns there. The field actually helped us on one. I think kids slipped and fell, but overall, they've been able to get them stopped, and then once they stop them, they just have not been able to do anything on offense.
What kind of numbers are we looking at for the offense?
From us, I've got us for almost 300 yards, 298 yards, and for North Central, I've only got them for 44 yards total on offense.
Well, they've lost their quarterback over here. The kid with the collarbone injury looked like he was being looked at again by Doc Wilson over here. It could have been another injury, but looked like they were going to put some ice on it. So looks like they'll be down to their second straight quarterback. Injury-wise for us, have you seen any kind of problems?
Chad Trent came off with a bit of a finger injury, but he came back and has been playing fine. It didn't really look like he has any ill effects from that.
It's a little bit chillier tonight, Shane. You notice I've got a full-on cold happening up here. So from this point on, I think the winter weather's getting ready to come in.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm kind of a germaphobe, so if I would have known, I would have stayed out in the cold if I would have known that you had a full-on cold here. So, but that's okay. It's okay. It's not too bad out there. It's a little wet on the field. I've gotten a lot of suggestions on different clothing to wear out here. Eddie Dale texted me with some Under Armour. My daughter actually suggested wearing a robe out there. I didn't think that would go over so well.
Well, Star Wars is coming out, so
yeah, definitely. Get into the gear for that. And then Sean Brown just before the game mentioned a Snuggie, but I don't know that would any of those would be a great move. So I went with Eddie Dale's suggestion and went with the Under Armour, which it was working out well.
Second half, I would imagine we'll see the starters probably at least try to go through their first couple of drives, but I suspect we're probably going to see a lot of younger kids get in the contest.
Yeah, I would expect the same thing. He's been going with the varsity about halfway. The varsity about halfway starters through. About halfway through the third quarter, and then bringing in the JV spot, for some spot play, and then I think pretty much full on JV in the fourth quarter in these games that have been kind of like this.
Well, my cold is taking control of me, Darren. You have to take over.
Well, I do. We mentioned earlier, Dad is here tonight. You asked about him. You send me the stats to get the updates for the totals, and you asked how Dad was doing. So he's down in the end zone there tonight. I don't know how long he'll stick around with the game being 46-0, but he did get out and come up to the game tonight. So if you get a chance, you might run down there and say hey to him if you haven't already.
I definitely will. I'm glad that he's out here. Is this his first game since the injury?
He watched the Tell City game from the car, but tonight rolled out here in his wheelchair and got down there in the end zone. And like I said, I'm not sure how long he'll stick around with the 46-0 score. He may be ready to get home, but he was here tonight to start. So
well, for those who don't know, my just two dad. Your dad was a defensive stat guy on the sidelines at a game at Springs Valley. Nice, beautiful weather. Right off the bat, took a hit on the sideline and really broke his leg in a couple of places. So had to have surgery, and boy, that was early on. It seems like that was just yesterday. And
yeah. He goes back to the doctor. I think the surgery was the 22nd of August, and he goes back on this month on the 24th, and hoping for some good news there. He's already going through a little bit of physical therapy to try to get things back to normal when he can. He still can't put any weight on it, but hopefully when he gets to the doctor on the 24th, he can, start getting himself back to getting ready to get around normal again.
Well, Shane, we appreciate you coming up here, and of course, it looks like right now we'll be seeing you again next week. And can't tell you what's happening in West Washington. Last score I heard was zip at the second quarter. So that North Decatur game a little bit tougher than we thought it was. You can relate to the folks down there in North Vermillion was up 28-13 at last account. So the Falcons look like they'll be rolling on as well.
That's excellent. I'm really looking forward to seeing a few more games here. So that'll be great to head down to either West Washington or North Decatur and see what we can do there.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we'll see. We won't see after the game. We might see on the field, though.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it. Shane Huffman coming over with the perspective from the Miners sideline, bringing statistical numbers over and letting us know what we can't see from.
Tell you, I got this second. I had to get a new shirt today there because my other Miner shirt has got too many holes in it after wearing it for 12 years, I think solid. So I went to Linton Sporting Goods today and I picked up a nice little snazzy red Linton Miner football shirt. They're going to get one like I had before, but got to give a shout out to them because they had all sorts of Miner stuff to choose from. And
they're one of our many sponsors.
Yes.
And we do want to thank our sponsors and do ask you to patronize their businesses whenever you can. If you don't need something they sell, at least stop by, or if you see them out in the community, tell them thank you for allowing us to bring you the Friday night football, because without their help we wouldn't be able to do this. And you know, I know a lot of people listen. It always amazes me when people stop me and the number of people that stop me and listen to the ball game. So we appreciate you listening and appreciate the sponsorship. We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break so we can get some more of those sponsors recognized here. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Once again at Linton High School, about 5 minutes left here in the halftime before they come back out for the 3-minute stretching period. I actually think that the high school halftimes last longer than the NFL halftimes now. I noticed the NFL halftimes, seem like they get over real quick anymore. But anyway, Dan, I know you're keeping track of scores. I don't think you've got any recent updates, but the last you have on the 2 games of importance to us.
Well, the last 2, I got some new messages here, and it looks like Keith is top. Well, this applies to us because it's Coach Weber and the Bedford team. It's 20-0 Castle at the end of 1. Ooh. That was going to be a hard test for Bedford North Lawrence over there, but at least they got further than they had been for a while. The last score we got with North Vermillion was that they're up 28-13. So looks like the Falcons, of course, the game's still pretty early. The West Washington North Decatur, again, I heard was 0-0. And then their game that's kind of implications in 1A, Pioneer, the number 2 team, which everybody thinks is going to move on against Lafayette Central Catholic. The quarterback is number 3, Ty Thompson.
Okay.
A sophomore, and he must be the younger brother.
That run there was Patrick McCombs, the fullback, on the carry. So McCombs with his first carry of the night. He's just a sophomore, 6 foot, 235 pounds. So as you said, Ty Thompson, a freshman, 5'4", 140, has come in at quarterback here. 3 backs join him in the backfield.
He is a little guy.
Yes, he is. He takes the snap, gives it once again straight up the gut. Power running here by Patrick McCombs. And he's going to get it out near midfield. Going to be 3rd down and short for North Central.
Well, his older brother, which I'd assume it is, McCombs, Ian McCombs, 88, used to be the big feature, hardcore pounding running back for North Central.
He's actually still listed as the fullback, tight end, and punter on their roster.
Well, I got to check and see if I even have a 3. Yeah, I do. He's on there.
So Ty Thompson at quarterback, like you said, not very big, just 5'4", $140. Handed it off the first 2 snaps here. 3rd down and a long 1. Takes the snap, gives it up a middle again to McCombs. He's going to have the 1st down and get into Miner territory. So 3 straight runs up the gut results in a 1st down for North Central.
Figley and Pig, so Pig must be doing okay back in the contest at tackle, makes the stop, but that's 3 plays right up the gut to the Miner, looks like the Miner 47-yard line.
Clock winds. North Central, they've shown a few signs of moving the ball here and there, but it's been turnovers that have bit them as well as special teams play.
Yeah, the turnovers were big, and Thompson's on the sideline, number 4, your senior. That's an odd looking
That
thing.
is, yes. So back under center, 3 backs. There's the snap. This time they're going to give it to the left side to Basinger, and he's going to be brought down. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. So the leading rusher for North Central and a senior, Trey Thompson, on the sideline here. One of the members of the coaching staff with his arm around his shoulder on the sideline right now.
Yeah, I'm very confused by that. And the way that the coach is talking to him, I don't know if that's the head coach or that.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down and 10. 3 backs continue to be the set for North Central. They line up straight across about 3 yards behind the quarterback. Takes the snap and going to give it on the counter this time. Coming to the right side is Froschauer, and he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and a flag flies in.
If they're going to call a face mask or a harness tackle or whatever you call that.
It's about got to be on the Miners. I don't think there were any other North Central players out there.
Well,
Personal foul face mask is the call. So that'll get North Central a 1st down and get it down maybe as far as they've had it all night.
Yeah.
I think the 37's where they were at when they threw the interception in the 1st half.
Well, the official was standing right there, so it must have been a genuine call. And the deepest I've seen them go down to is the Miner 37-yard line.
So this gets them down to the Miner 32, 1st and 10. 33, they say, on the scoreboard. So that is their farthest progression of the evening. With the freshman quarterback in there, 3 backs in the backfield. Takes the snap, going to hand it off again to McCombs, going to the left side, and he's going to be stuffed. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, big Levi Gerald, number 77, along with Avery Gentry, 31. Getting a lot of valuable playing time for number 77. He is a sophomore, 6'2", 280 pounds.
They might have gave him a half a yard on that, so bring up 2nd down and still 10. 8:38 and running is the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
43, and McCombs is a, gosh, where's he at on there?
Yeah, he's a 6 foot, 235 pound sophomore.
This one he's listed as number 66, so they've updated it.
And now we got some movement, both teams, and North Central was fine. Basinger moved, but he could have reset in the backfield. Ends up being a false start on the Thunderbirds. All Basinger had to do was reset. The ball didn't get snapped, and the Miners jumping kind of confused him, I think, and he ends up being called for the false start. So it backs the ball up to the 36-yard line.
It almost looked like both sides jumped and nobody was going to call anything, and then finally the white hat decided to throw the flag.
I don't think the Miners got into the neutral zone, so I think they were fine. And then when the ball got snapped, Basinger wasn't reset, ended up creating the penalty. So now it makes it 2nd down and 15. And now we're going to get a timeout. The play clock was about to run out, so North Central takes the timeout. So with 7:51 left in the 3rd quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top 46-0. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Lions Health and Living Center, offering a high-skilled professional staff available 24 hours a day in a comfortable, compassionate environment. Contact Melinda Barnhill for a personal tour, 659-1440. Lions Health and Living Center, a 5-star community. We are worth the drive. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Asphalt Doctor in Bloomfield. For all your paving, seal coating, striping, and repairs, call the Asphalt Doctor for a free estimate, 327-4446. Dan's back on that phone again, trying to get us some score information.
Just trying to see what's going on. There's still no update. I've got a couple folks saying 0-0. I'm really more intrigued by watching Trey Thompson on the sideline, their number 4.
Doesn't appear to be hurt.
No, he's talking to coaches and trying to see what's going to happen. How would you like to be Ty Thompson, number 3? The sophomore gets thrown out there at the quarterback spot. A freshman, actually. He's just a tiny.
So 7:51 is North Central 2nd and 15. Thompson takes the snap, pitches it to Basinger, headed to the left side, cuts it up, and he's going to be stopped. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job stretching that play out on the outside. Kendall Williams is going to make that tackle.
So it looks like they mark it back at the 36-yard line once again. So 3rd down and it's 3rd down and about 13. It looks like on the looking at the chains.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and if there's one thing it's done is at least burn some of that clock time. It's 7:20 now in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it really has. That clock seemed, it's moved quickly. That's been all runs, though. That clock continues to move whenever you're running the football. So 3rd and 13 here for North Central. I'm sure it's 4-down territory. 3 backs in the backfield. They take the snap, going to look to throw. Left hand pass, and it's caught. Nice catch over the middle there. Kind of a left-hand fling by the freshman quarterback. And trying to get the number on who made the catch there. 88, yes, Ian McCombs. So a 1st down for North Central.
Yeah, that's kind of a special moment there, actually. They just fired it up there. I don't know how that did get intercepted, but
he didn't waste any time throwing it. He threw it into a pack of Miners, but somehow Ian McCombs came down with it, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 14 for North Central.
And that erupted the North Central fans, who I got to give credit to. They're still here. They're still supporting their team.
Handoff up the gut, and that's going to be Patrick McCombs again. Not much there.
Right up the middle, yeah.
Might have got a yard, going to make it 2nd down and 9.
Looks like Trent and Jackson were both there. Well, they would love this, the Farmersburg folks. Come down the field and from their own 41 drive the ball right down, albeit they were aided by a face mask call on a 3rd and 11. We're down into the 6-minute territory. Miners haven't touched the ball.
Yep, going to run off at least half the clock here in the 3rd quarter before the Miners get it back. Ty Thompson continues to be the quarterback under center, takes the snap, gives it off to Basinger to the left side, and he's going to be stacked up again. Nowhere to go. Running, as you said earlier, away from Dylan Morris.
Yeah. Whole host of guys over there. Impossible. I want to say whoever's on that other side, and it looks like T. Pig, 62, held him up, along with Garrett Mason.
Back to the line of scrimmage. Going to make it 3rd down and 9 for North Central here, down to 5:37. Between running the football and running that play clock down to next to nothing every time, they have taken a ton of time off the clock.
Yeah.
46-0. The Miners on their way to the 5th straight sectional championship here. As Thompson takes the snap, gives it up the middle to McCombs again, I believe. And the Miners have the football. Another turnover on North Central. They drive it down again to the Miner 13-yard line, and again a turnover. So the Miners will get it back with 5:10 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Oh boy, a nice long drive gets wasted. Right at the 13-yard line. It looked like he got hit as soon as he got the ball.
Had several occasions tonight where the Miner defense has been right there with the with the handoff. So
let's say 5:10 or 6:10.
5:10, I believe, to go here. We're definitely under 6. Wide receiver to the near side. And Muir out of the shotgun. Runner in motion. There's the snap. Handoff comes to Eberhardt, coming to the near side. Has some running room. Clothier doing a nice job blocking out front. And Mitch gets it out near the 40-yard line. Miners started there on the 13s where they took over possession. So a nice run by Eberhardt on first down.
Froschauer really saves a touchdown by making that tackle. Good blocking by Clothier, as you said. That ball gets all the way out to the 38-yard line. Granted, that was a nice tackle by Froschauer, but he got up pumping his chest, and I'm looking at the scoreboard going, it's 46-0.
And that was a 25-yard run.
Yeah.
This time they'll take Jackson to the other side. He's on the right, on the far side, has some running room, turns the corner, he got a flag down. And Pearson's going to be brought down in North Central territory.
He's still going.
Man, that's twice I've done that. I thought he was down on the touchdown run earlier, but as you said, there's a flag sitting back at about the 44-yard line, 43-yard line.
Got a holding call.
Going to go on the Miners, so Pierce will end up getting about 5 yards worth if they mark it off from there.
Signal the running back so he can just stop the effort so he doesn't get
sure, not so that nothing happens.
Because Pierce was really not going down, and gosh, you'd hate for a guy to make a Herculean effort just to find out the ball's going backwards.
So they take it back to the 33, so Pierce will get credit for a 5-yard run, and then they back it up 10, so it'll be 1st and 15 for the Miners. Regular set, Clothier far to the far side on the right. Now Eberhardt gets lined up in his position. In motion is Jackson. This time Muir's going to keep it. Looks like an option play. Pitches it to Jackson.
Oh,
he breaks a tackle.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow, right down the sideline, and he's going to, got caught from behind.
Oh, and he's not happy about it.
Thought he was going to go again, but right there, somebody able to run him down from behind.
It'll be Larimer, number 36 or 16, but golly, I don't know how you describe that one either. If you're watching on LintonMiners.com, you probably saw it on the far sideline. It looked like he leaped over a couple of people, stayed in bounds, then put the Jets on, and I thought he was going to be gone.
And they're going to mark that. I thought he got farther down the field. They're going to mark it inside the 15 at about the, or is it right at the 15? So at the 15-yard line is what they have up on the scoreboard. So a nice run by Pierce Jackson on an option.
95 yards on 8 carries for Pierce. Had 132 last week.
Up the middle to Mason this time. He's still moving ahead, and he takes it into the end zone. Looked like he was going to be stopped after about 5 yards. Instead, he finds his way into the end zone.
Yeah, these guys just do not go down. When you got to hit them, you got to wrap them up, and 2 or 3 guys got to make the hit. And we took the ball with 4 or 5:10 on the clock. It's now 4:25, and the Miners marched 87 yards in 4 plays.
And what, 30 seconds?
Yeah,
Is it?
45 seconds I've got there.
So Wilson back on for another extra point here. Mason looked like he was stopped after about 5 and takes it in from 15. Snap, hold, and kick. Good again by Wilson. So Luke adds the extra point, and with 4:25 left in the third quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners go on top, 53-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports Production. By Elliott Insurance on Main Street in downtown Linton. Proud to be a Linton Miners sponsor. Elliott Insurance says, go Miners. Also brought to you in part by Welch and Cornett Funeral Homes, congratulating the Miners on another great season and says good luck in the tournament. So a quick score by the Miners after another North Central turnover. The Thunderbirds have marched it down inside the red zone and turned it over with a fumble, and the Miners quickly convert that into points and now lead 53-0.
Well, North Vermillion appears to be on their way. They are up 35-14 over South Putnam.
A low line drive kick fielded at about the 18-yard line. Coming to the near side with it is Froschauer, and he's going to be tackled right around the 30.
Cox and Ward, number 4 had him, and number 2 had him. Both put pretty good-sized hits on him. And North Central, again, they'll probably use every bit of the clock they possibly can at the 35-yard line.
So 1st and 10 again. North Central takes over at the 35. Last time they had it, they ran over half of the third quarter off before fumbling it. And then the Miners only had it for 45 seconds. And
yeah.
So the Miner defense getting a workout here, but the offense able to put points on the board in between.
Well, I'm interested to see if Trey Thompson is out there, number 4, this time around.
So under center is Ty Thompson. Takes the snap, gives it off to the left side. Once again, it is Patrick McCombs. That's been their go-to guy here in the third quarter, just pretty much straight ahead running. Cuts it out to the left side some, and this time he picks up about 4, gets it out to the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 6.
Well, that's already quite a few carries for number 43.
That's all here in the second half.
I don't even have 43 on the boards. How about that? It's 7 carries, 14 yards for McCombs.
Minus 14.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Wondering how that's happened.
How'd you do that?
Wondering how that's happened.
So 3 backs in the backfield. Thompson under center once again. Takes the snap, and this time the ball's on the ground again, isn't it? Now he might have got the handoff. I thought the ball hit the ground again, but went back to Patrick McCombs, and going to be 3rd down. We'll see where they mark it. Ball may have been on the ground. They're going to get it out to the, well, back to the line of scrimmage at the 39. Going to make it 3rd down and 6. Down under 3 minutes now left on the clock here in the third quarter.
Well, it's never fun to try to fix whatever happened program-wise.
While the game's still going on, absolutely.
Not sure why I'm seeing 43.
Now we got movement in the North Central backfield, and you might have heard Coach Lorig behind there. He's in the booth here with us saying that wasn't a penalty. The running back moved forward, but he could have reset. So they back it up 5 yards, going to make it 3rd down and 11 at the 34-yard line now. Ty Thompson comes over to the sideline, gets the play from the offensive coordinator, goes back out to relay it to the teammates, down to 15 on the play clock. Game clock at 2:36. 53-0 in favor of the Miners. Thompson under center. 3 backs join him, and now we got more movement on the line. So they're going to back him up another 5 yards. I guess you keep running time off the clock when you do that. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Linton Family Pharmacy, now offering several kinds of vaccinations. Call to learn more. Linton Pharmacy, a proud Miner supporter. See them at lintonrx.com. Also brought to you in part by Skinner's Towing in Linton, your 24-hour wrecker service, and featuring a secured storage facility. Skinner's Towing says, go Miners.
Well, this looks like I'll have to look at the computer after. I have no idea. It's the only one that's doing the negatives, like somewhere there's a negative sign put in front of a formula.
Oh, wow. Good thing the whistle blew there on 3rd and long, and Thompson turned around and tried to pitch it to Basinger and threw it about 5 yards over his head. But fortunately for North Central, the whistle blew and the flag came out. It's going to be another false start. It'll back them up 5, but that was better than the alternative they were going to get on that play.
Avery Gentry had that one tracked down along with Figley. Well, that's 15 straight yards and penalties against North Central.
That may be the first time I've ever seen 3 false start penalties in a row. So 3rd down and forever now for North Central. They got to get it to the 45, and the ball's back at about the 25, maybe the 24. So 3rd and long for the Thunderbirds. Their 3rd-string freshman quarterback in the ball game. Under center, takes the snap, going to look to throw, and ball's loose. They're going to call it incomplete as the Miners were all over him right from the start. Hardly had time to get his feet set back there.
Yeah, he's so little, and he was left-handed. He tried to get that out there. Chance Howard was out there in his face so quick.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a courtesy whistle there, because that ball may have came out before his arm started forward, but they do call it incomplete. They'll line up to punt. Ian McCombs back to punt now. And I can't imagine this ball will go anywhere near Tyler Muir.
No, I can't either.
Of course, the Miners already have a block. Kendall Williams did that earlier. The snap back to McCombs is good. Here come the Miners. The kick's a line drive towards the sideline, and Tyler tried to get to it, but it ends up out of bounds right around the 40. So that's where the Miners will take over 1st and 10. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Kramer's Tree Service in Linton for all your residential and commercial tree needs, plus stump grinding and free estimates. Good luck, Miners, from Kramer's Tree Service. So the Miners take over at the 41-yard line with 1:34 left here in the third quarter. And still going to be the varsity offense, at least for one more possession here. But my guess is this will be the last time we see them, if they even get through this whole possession.
I think you're correct. Well, see Thompson out there, number 4 now, out of cornerback position. So whatever that issue was.
Jackson takes the handoff, going to the right side. Breaks a tackle, has Morris out in front of him. Cuts it back up the middle, and he's got another chance to break it. And he's going to score this time. Eberhardt gets out in front, and Pierce Jackson, no flags to bring this one back as Pierce goes right off the bat 59 yards on the first play from scrimmage after the North Central punt. And the Miners go on top 59-0.
Well, that's discerning when you're a North Central fan to see that happen. He just runs at will. That just took 14 seconds, and he now has 159 yards on 9 carries. The last 2 weeks, Pierce Jackson has put up some big numbers. He's trying to become another back to hit that 1,000-yard mark.
Yeah, I mean, he's put up yards on very few carries the last couple of weeks. Now we got the Miners are backing up. So there's a flag for something here. We're looking for the white hat official to see what the call is. Now they're going to put it, well, now they're moving it back up there. They're going to mark it off on the kickoff, or I didn't see personal foul on the Miners. So they didn't mark it off on the extra point. It's a normal extra point, isn't it? But whatever it was a personal foul.
That's going to be on
the kickoff. So Wilson drills the extra point through. And the Miners now on top 60-0 with 1:20 left here in the third quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second break and try to sort things out. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Back once again at Linton High School, where tonight's game is brought to you in part by Hale Automotive, your automotive repair experts in Linton. From routine jobs to major problems and repairs, Hale Automotive will get the job done right and at a price that'll fit your budget. Hale Automotive, 169 Southeast 6th Street in Linton.
It's definitely a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
So unsportsmanlike conduct. They back it up 15 yards, so that means Luke will tee it up at the 25-yard line this time instead of the 40. So North Central, they've had good field position all night. They've not been able to do anything with it, but probably looking at good field position here again.
For sure. This will be an opportunity for Luke just to reach back and give this one a good solid kick.
Wilson gets ready to approach the ball here. Minor kickoff team's gotten plenty of work tonight. There's the kick, end over end, and it's going to be fielded at about the 36-yard line. And that's Basinger, and he falls down at the 46. So Dawson Basinger on the return gets about 10 yards, so they take over at the 46-yard line. So they do indeed get good field position. Probably would have been a little better if he doesn't fall down, but the Miners were there to bring him down anyway. So now we get Trey Thompson back out there at running back.
There must have been something that happened because he was held out at almost that entire quarter.
So Ty Thompson.
Three's coming back in.
Yeah, so Ty Thompson's going to still play at quarterback, but Trey Thompson's going to stay in at the running back position. He's not carried the ball very much tonight from the running back position. He carried it a few times during the series where he played quarterback, a couple of series.
I just have him 5 carries for 1 yard all night long.
And now we get the handoff. And what a stick by Chad Trent. That was Trey Thompson, and Chad Trent, somebody had him low, and Chad just let him have it high.
Chance Howard had him low, and Chad Trent gave him a pop and a welcome back to the contest.
A couple of yard loss on the play back to the 44-yard line will bring up 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a cordial greeting, a nice solid hit. West Washington has scored. McFeeters breaks off some runs. They score from 3 out. It's the Senators 7, the Chargers 0.
First score in that ball game. Is that in the second half?
Yeah.
So that game in the second half. 2nd and 12 for North Central. There's the snap. Handoff goes to the left side this time. Froschauer, I believe, on the carry.
Not going to get a lot.
Oh, they blew the whistle. He didn't think he was down. He popped it out to the right side, but evidently forward progress was stopped.
Gentry gets up a little bit more gingerly between he and Figley made that tackle.
About a yard pickup to the 45. It'll be 3rd and 11. Now Avery's headed off the field.
Limping a little bit. Bringing in Luke Miller, number 41.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. So at the end of 3 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 60, North Central 0. Back in 60 seconds, this is a Media 5 Sports Production. Once again at Linton High School, we get ready to start the fourth quarter, where tonight's game is being brought to you by Baszler's Market in Linton, featuring great weekly grocery specials and a wonderful selection of produce. Baszler's proudly supports the Linton Miners. So 3rd down and 11 here for the Thunderbirds as they open the fourth quarter. They'll now move right to left. The referee puts the ball in play. 3 backs in the backfield. No wide receivers here in the second half for North Central. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off, coming to the near side, right there to make the tackle for the Miners.
I believe that's Chance.
So that is, once again, Trey Thompson being greeted in the backfield for a loss on the play back to the 43-yard line. And it'll bring up 4th down for North Central, and the punting unit heads out onto the field.
Just domination on the inside. I tell you what, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Chance Howard. We liked him as a freshman last year, but golly, he's really putting on. So he's real quick on that line, and he's very strong, and he's got a pretty good sized motor going at all times.
Ian McCombs back again to punt. There's the snap, and he gets the kickoff, comes to the near sideline, out of bounds at about the 40.
Mirror is not going to
get that one, no. So it's out of bounds at the 39-yard line, so that's where the Miners will take over. And I think part of the problem, looks like their punter's lined up quite a ways back there. They might, move him in a couple of yards and let him get that punt away quicker.
Yeah, they have had a lot of trouble with that.
By the time that snap gets back to him, boy, the Miners have been all over him. Let's see what we get from the Miners here. We get some clean jerseys on the field, I believe.
Well, the JV has not looked that solid in the last several. It doesn't look like it.
No, it isn't. I see we got a little bit of a change, but not a ton. So Keaton Cox comes in and replaces Mason in the backfield. It's still Eberhardt and Pierce Jackson on the wings. Clothier still wide to the left, so the Miner varsity offense stays out there. Handoff comes to Jackson, looks to cut it up. He's going to be tackled, might have got a couple of yards there, out over the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Thompson and I believe Howard make the tackle there. And
several Miner players having a conversation with the near side official.
Well, I tell you what you worry about in this situation, Darren, is this is the end of the line for some of these senior players for North Central, and they didn't want to go out 60-0, and they may take umbrage a little bit to what's happening.
Pierce heads to the sideline now. Kendall Williams comes in at that left wing position. Eberhardt stays at the right wing. Cox in the backfield with Muir out of the shotgun. Clothier wide left. Eberhardt in motion. He'll take the carry.
He just needs 5 yards to break 100.
Heads up field now. Gets it over midfield to the 45. Breaks a tackle down inside the 40. Still on his feet as he gets it down inside the 35-yard line. Another minor first down. And we'll see if that's probably the last carry for Mitch, as I see
he's
Corbin
already coming off,
heading in. So Cody Corbin will check in. The ball marked at the 33-yard line.
That's 110 yards on just 7 carries for Eberhardt. So we got 200-yard rushers tonight. And that's 157 for Jackson. I mean, he's had back to games now, 280-plus yards.
In motion, jet sweep coming to the near side. Turned up the field is
Williams.
Kendall Williams, and he's still on his feet. Breaks the tackle down inside the 10 to the 5 and on into the end zone.
Kendall Williams only gets to carry the ball about once every couple of games, but I think every time he carries, it's a touchdown.
You got to love it when your backup running back comes in and the first time he touches it goes 33 yards for the score.
Yeah, if you don't wrap these guys up, they just don't go down. And honestly, I think I said it last week, when you don't get that many touches, when you got so many good skill players, if you get the opportunity to carry the ball, you're going to make it the best you possibly can.
He did a nice job of breaking the tackle there at about the 25-yard line and took it right on in. Wilson on for another extra point. Snap a little high, but the hold is down and the kick is good. So with 9:55 left in the ball game on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, Linton 67, North Central nothing. Back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 sports production. High School, Darren, Clayton, Dan Phillips. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Morin at Midwest Satellite for Dish Network and packages starting at just $19.99 a month. Plus free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. Mike will even pay $50 on your first bill. That's Mike Morin at Midwest Satellite in Linton.
That was the 11th carry for Kendall Williams this year, Darren. 4 of them have gone for touchdowns.
Pretty impressive that you bring in that second. And it wasn't the complete second unit. I mean, it was a combination of that. And I like seeing that. I say that all the time. When they can mix in some second-string guys with some first-string guys, that does nothing but help you down the road. So Wilson gets ready to kick off here once again from the 40-yard line. See what we go with this time around on the kick. And he's going to kick it deep. Going to be fielded back there at about the 15-yard line, it looks like. And coming to the near side and being brought down around the 30 is Froschauer.
That number 9 jersey is hard to distinguish. Again, Chance Williams Howard, number 52, over there, along with 22. I believe that's Williams again. Yeah, so we're seeing the D. This is definitely JV defense.
So the ball marked at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for North Central. Ty Thompson continues to be the quarterback, the 5'4 freshman.
Still Phipps, see Phipps and Gerald's the tackles. It looks like Fig is one of the defensive ends. We don't have Caden, or it's going to be Trevor Hill on the other side.
There's a snap, and up the gut it goes once again, and the minor defense makes the stop.
Looks like I don't even know who that was.
I'm not sure who carried the football there. But
Looked like 62
flipped the ball to the official. That's Dalton Reed. He's listed as an offensive lineman. I don't think there was a fumble there. 2nd down and 8's the result of the play.
It certainly didn't act like there was a fumble. He is. I can't tell who that is. It looks like 43 in the backfield.
Thompson back under center. Takes the snap, hands it off again, coming to the near side, and once again stopped by the Miner defense. And this time it was number 2, Dawson Basinger on the carry. So 3rd down and 7 now for North Central.
Well, we still got 8 minutes to go in this contest.
67-0 in favor of the Miners. See Drayden Ward out here on the defense as well. Bill Smith back at safety, along with Keaton Cox. Ward at a corner position, but they've not had a wide receiver the whole second half.
No.
Thompson takes the snap, going to hand it off to Basinger again, going to the right side. He's going to be stopped quickly. It's going to bring up 4th down for North Central.
Well, Trevor Hill, number 61, was out there quick for the Miners, along with a couple of other Miners on that side of the ball.
So 4th down and 7, and here comes the punting unit again for North Central. 8 minutes and the clock running here.
Oh, they're snapping the ball quicker than they usually do as well.
So back once again, Ian McCombs to punt. Back deep for the Miners is Smith and Cox, I believe. There's the snap, just a little low. The punt's away. And it's going to bounce at about the 41-yard line. It bounces to the right. Smith picks it up, breaks a tackle, gets it back about where it originally bounced. He might have got a few yards out of it. So the Miners will take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tangle Styling Salon, Highway 54 in Linton. Trendy, modern, up-to-date styles for the entire family. See Linda Goodman at Tangles. Go Miners. Also brought to you in part by Sullivan Automotive Group with 7 franchises under one roof. Highway 41 in Sullivan, home of the 6 days a week service department. So here comes the Miner offense. I see Corbin. I also see Clark.
Yeah, let's hope that they look a little better than they did last week. Darren down at Perry Central, we had snaps overhead, fumbles left and right.
Trey Passon going to be the quarterback for the bunch here. So
Sparks is at center position, which is something we haven't seen.
There's the snap. Going to be a handoff to the left side. Cox has it out to the 40. Gets it out to about the 43-yard line.
Looks like Basinger made the tackle, number 18, I believe.
2nd down and about 7 here.
Both those Basingers are underclassmen, a freshman and a junior, each with over 100 tackles this year, Darren. So they've got some good things coming back. Froschauer will be back. Cooch will be back.
Well, they definitely showed some signs here and there tonight. I mean, nothing consistent, but did show some signs. Handoff goes to Corbin to the left side this time. Gets it out to the 45. Still battling for yards. Gets it out to about the 48-yard line before he's brought down over there.
And to be honest with you, Corbin is one of those kids that he always seems to run the ball hard. He's just in a skill-rich position there, that wing back. He's going to be one of those guys as a senior that's really going to be itching for a chance to show himself. And we got Williams coming back. You got Keaton Cox coming back. You got Garrett Mason coming back. You got Tyler Muir coming back. Well, that's fairly deadly when you think about it.
Very much so. 3rd down and 3 here for the Miners. They send 2 wide receivers to the near side. Snap to Passon, hands it off up the middle, and breaking the right up the gut, Keaton Cox. Going to get it down into North Central territory, inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Nice run by Keaton.
Keaton is just going to be a weapon for sure for the Miners in years to come. Just a sophomore.
Ball marked at the 33-yard line.
Trey Passon has been at the quarterback spot. Noah Clark, I see, is at the tight end. Definitely a kid who probably will jump up next year, play that position. Luke Miller, another one. Now we got some spread out offense.
Yeah, 2 wide receivers again to the near side. Passon going to keep it himself. Cuts it up the middle. Has some running room now. Runs into his own blocker down inside the 20. Down inside the 15, maybe even.
Oh, that's a nice run by Trey. Hadn't had an opportunity to do a whole lot of that.
Just tucked it up. Definitely a quarterback keep. Wasn't any kind of a busted play. That was just I'm going to keep it. Gets it all the way down to the 13-yard line.
These kids want to score. I mean, You can't fault them to do it.
Oh, not at all. They have kind of struggled to move the ball at times when they've come in late. And
5:42 still to go in the game, too. As I look out, I see Warnock is at the left tackle. Well, Warnock is at center now. Fig is at right tackle. Hill is at right
in motion. And there's the handoff to
the
other Howard. Yeah. He picks up some yards. That's Chase Howard.
Chase.
A freshman, 5'6", 110 pounds.
Normally he's coming from that wing. He actually had some running room, and well, you got to love that.
Second down for the Miners. We'll see where they spot the football. It's down inside the 10-yard line. Looks like it's about the 7 or 8. They're going to call it the 6. So pick up a 7 yards. Nice run there by Chase Howard. And now,
oh gosh,
nice tackle near the end zone and touchdown.
Oh, let me see who it was. Well, see if we can listen to who that was.
Yeah, I think they've already announced it on the PA. I'm not sure if coaches down there can help us out or not. Coach, who carried the ball on that? We get a little help here.
Nobody knows. Nobody's in conversation.
So with 4:45 to go in the fourth quarter.
What's that? Yeah,
the Miner JV punches it in here, but we're not sure who scored.
Well, it was either Cox or actually almost looked like 23 Smith, who was the one that handed the ball to the official, but he was spread out.
Wilson back for the extra point again. Snaps good, kicks up, and it's good. So Wilson adds the extra point. See if my text message I just got is going to tell us who scored here. Nope, that's not what that's about. So we'll have to figure that one out. 4:45 left in the ball game on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners go on top 74-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds rather. This is a Media 5 sports production. Yard run for the Miners that put them on the board there at 74 points now after the Wilson extra point. And Luke will get ready to kick off yet again here. 4:45 still remaining.
Luke's foot has just got to be sore as can be the next morning, kicking off 10 and 12 times every Friday night.
He gets a lot of work, that's for sure. A rolling kick this time. Gets by one North Central player, picked up by another one. He's probably going to get clobbered here by the Miner kick return team. So it's going to be inside the 30-yard line where North Central will take over.
Froschauer, number 9, he's about the only guy still standing back there. End of 3, North Decatur and West Washington is the Senators just a 7-0 lead. That's really kind of a surprise to me.
Miners would travel to West Washington next week if they hold on and win. First and 10 at the 28 for North Central. They're going to huddle up. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Eugene Martin, public accountant in Linton. Gene says, best of luck, Miners. We're backing you as always. So here comes North Central yet again. Miners trying to get their personnel set. They may have to take a timeout. Somebody's limping back out to their position. They get lined up. There's the snap. Handoff to the right side. I believe that's Froschauer again on the carry. See for sure here when he gets up off the pile.
Indeed it is.
So Froschauer picks up maybe a couple of yards, gets it out near the 30-yard line. 31-yard line to pick up a 3. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Key Associates of Linton and Connie Puckett, located on Main Street. A proud sponsor of the Linton Miners, Key Associates, backing the Miners all the way. Thompson takes the snap, going to hand it off to the right side. Running room this time, and nice tackle over there by the Miners. Once again, I believe Froschauer and somebody for the Miners over there put a nice stop on him.
Yeah, I just couldn't pick up the number all the way over there, but boy, that was a textbook smash hit.
Gets it out to the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3 now. It's still the North Central A-team running backs. It's not their, it's their third-string quarterback, but it's still their solid running backs back there in the backfield. I like to see the Miner JV get the big stop here. Thompson takes the snap, going to hand it off, coming to the near side this time. A little bit of running room around the end. It's Basinger. He's going to be tackled out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Cox and Mossberger in on the play.
Well, it's a lot easier to see who makes the tackle. It's on our side of the field.
Sure is. A pickup of 10, though, out to the 45-yard line gives North Central the first down. 3:45 still left. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Shields Hardware in Linton, featuring the area's largest selection of electrical needs, hardware and plumbing supplies, as well as paint and paint supplies. Shields Hardware says, go Miners. Thompson up under center with the 3 backs. Takes the snap, going to hand it off again, coming to the near side. Tries to cut it back up the gut. The Miners make a stop after maybe a couple of yard pickup there, and that was Basinger again on the carry.
Warnock 58 and Gretline 58, 74 Wyatt Warnock. Josh Warnock. Almost get these guys memorized.
So the ball out to the 47. A pick up a 2 will make it 2nd down and 8. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Sportsman's Pub on Main Street in Linton, offering steaks, seafood, and salads. Dine in or carry out at Sportsman's Pub in downtown Linton.
13 carries, 43 yards for Dawson Basinger, the freshman. Froschauer just 12 carries, 25 yards is all he has.
Handoff this time, Froschauer going to the right side. A chance to get him in the backfield fails. Now another chance to get him on the far side, and a nice tackle by the Miners. That'll be for a loss.
That time it was Keaton Cox, number 4, that made the sure tackle after he got away from the first guy out there.
So the ball going to go back to the 40, about the 43-yard line, maybe the 44, so a loss of 3 on the play. Bring up 3rd down and 11. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Goodman Heating and Cooling. Monty Goodman, your local Ream dealer. Call Monty at Goodman Heating for a free estimate. Down to 2:05 remaining here. 3rd down and 11 for North Central. Ty Thompson awaits the snap. He takes it, going to hand it off. Coming to the near side is Basinger. He's got some running room out over the 50 and a nice tackle. Cunningham, I believe, Drake Cunningham gets out there to make the stop short of the first down at about the 48 of the Miners. And it'll bring up 4th down and 3 here. I'd like to see this JV defense get off the field right here. That'd be really nice. Down to 1:34 on the clock.
And they bring it in. I mean, every play, there's 5 or 6 different guys coming into the contest. Impossible to necessarily know who's who. Colt Padgett now I see is in an inside linebacker. Oh, you'd love to see him make the stop here. But as you say, these are the first streamers.
The running backs definitely. There's the snap. Going to look to throw.
Going to go for the cheap
Fires
pass.
it over the middle and knocked down incomplete.
Trying to surprise us, but the Miners stay home. It was intended for Larimer, number 16, but both Keaton Cox and 88 Mossberger were there.
So a change of possession with 1:07 to go. The Miner JV with the nice stop. And as we change it over, we'll let you know that one of tonight's sponsors is Shea Lynn's Florist and Gift Shop, located at 69 North Main in downtown Linton. Shea Lynn's is proud of our Linton Miners and says good luck tonight. So the Miners take back over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And we may just see a couple of knees here.
The dreaded knee for Ward.
And it is indeed. Poor Drayton, he comes in and he takes a knee, and that'll run a lot of time off the clock. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by McDonald's in Linton, offering all-day breakfast. Stop in before or after the game. McDonald's in Linton, open till 1 a.m. Also brought to you by Linton Veterinary Hospital and Dr. Whitman, treating all creatures big and small. Dr. Whitman is located next to CVS in Linton and says, go Miners. Well, I think maybe one more snap here. The play clock's at 15, the game clock at 38. The Miners will down it one more time. Drayden Ward up under center to take the snap. He does so, takes that knee. The game clock is underneath what the play clock will be, so that'll do it. Want to give you one last sponsor here. Tonight's game was brought to you in part by Gene Hall and Gordon Wright at Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your friends at Farm Bureau Insurance. Becky, Erica, Gene, or Gordon. Go Miners from Farm Bureau Insurance, serving the Linton area for over 40 years. Well, the final score on the HiCom Security Services scoreboard, the Linton Miners 74, the North Central Thunderbirds 0. The Linton Miners, their 5th straight sectional championship, and they'll advance next week to the regional to take on the winner of the North Decatur-West Washington game, which is very close right now, and we'll try to keep you posted as we go through the post-game show. We'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break, come back with that post-game show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. The Miners out hoisting the sectional championship trophy, their 5th in a row. And Dan, what a treat it is for 2 straight classes to come through and not lose the sectional game.
It's absolutely phenomenal when you think about it. 7 of the last 8, well, 8 of the last 9, and just the 1 year Perry Central got us in that game. We were really close to right there to get to the final. But this senior class has not lost a sectional. Well, they haven't lost a sectional game at all. That's quite a statement about what they've done. And if anybody out there caught that Bloomington Times-Herald piece today on Dylan Morris, it was an incredible story. There's a lot of stories behind the 2015 Miner football team, and they just keep on racking it up. Over 420 yards of rushing, 420 yards rushing, 544 yards total, 124 passing. Just about everything the offense did tonight was gold, and about everything the defense did was gold. Some blocked, some bad snaps necessarily on the extra points, and then a couple of kickoff returns that gave North Central the ball consistently around midfield. They just couldn't do anything about it. And while you were away, we about had heart attacks up here. Over our head above us was the fireworks that went flying off. And
yeah, that first boom kind of got our attention, that's for sure.
This day and age, anytime you hear something like that, you got to start thinking, what's that going on?
Yeah, nice little crowd of people out at midfield here supporting the Miners. I did talk to Athletic Director Charlie Carazia this afternoon. He told me to inform anybody who's getting ready to leave. They are going to have a pep session out here at the field. They're not going to go in the gym and do it. They're going to have it out here on the
that's
field.
Great.
So
maybe we'll get to catch some of that.
So they're actually going to have it out here for the Miners, and looks like they may be throwing around some T-shirts and stuff. Of course, we'll hope Coach Oliver comes up here and has a conversation with us here in a little bit. But right now, the players out enjoying and the coaching staff out enjoying this sectional championship. And looks like we're going to fight a few media people tonight. I see a couple of TV crews out there. They're going to want to talk to these kids. And
Well, that'll give you a chance to tell you about the West Washington game. North Decatur tried a fake punt, didn't get it, and evidently West Washington tried a fake punt, did get it, results in a touchdown. They're up 14-0 with 6:22 to go in the contest, but North Decatur returns the kickoff to the, I believe he said, the 6-yard line of West Washington.
Wow, so they're not going to go away. So
I was already set to the West Washington 15-yard line. So the Chargers doesn't sound like they've had really much offense going tonight, but they're down to the 15-yard line.
Trying a couple things to make something happen there. So the Miners out celebrating on the field right now at the 50-yard line, helmets high in the air, and a few hip hoorays out there as the Miners will head down now. They usually head down to the south goal line there to finish out their activities as a group. And like we said, we hope Coach Oliver able to make his way up here. He has
he
all
knows
season.
About it. Normally we head down to the sideline, and we don't have that equipment to do that right now. So we'll be up here in a nice, well, I'm not going to say warm, but
it's comfortable up here, though. Coach Oliver being interviewed right now by the media at the 50-yard line as the team makes its way down to the end zone. We'll go ahead and take another 30-second break to wrap up our commercials for tonight, and then we'll come back up and finish off the post-game show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Razor leads the way. With unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Perfectly combined to chase what matters. Lifelong memories with friends and family. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Dan Phillips, the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, Linton 74, North Central nothing. And Dan, a lot of people over the years, as we've gotten on through the tournament, they've criticized our schedule. We never play anybody. That ends up being what hurts us as we get along, is what people say. They can't necessarily say that about this year. We played a tougher schedule, but that tougher schedule seemed to all be top-heavy. It was early in the season.
Yeah.
Will the Miners remember what it took to win those games back early when it comes time to push and shove when we get to these West Washingtons, North Vermilions, and those games coming up?
Certainly the four-quarter game preparedness, is that what we're going to have? Certainly beating Speedway, we showed we were a physical team and in shape and went 4 quarters in that one. And playing Tecumseh at the time was they were 3-1 at the time, but certainly that North Vermilion game showed that we were a 4-quarter team. And then we kind of went to the second half of the schedule where there wasn't. The only thing that was good about it for me was Eastern Green came into that game fired up and only lost 1 contest. They won a sectional game, and I think that was a little bit more of a contest, even though, again, the score was 69-7. North Ox, their offense had looked good, but you got to agree, when you start looking at scores, what the Miners have done this second half of the season, it's just totally dominated. What I like is they really haven't shown any signs of, letting up or maybe not completing a task at hand. The Perry Central game, they were 9-2 or 8-2 going into that contest. And they gave West Washington a fairly decent battle, and we just dominated that game from start to finish. But now it's when it's really going to get tough. I kind of wonder what's going on with that West Washington North Decatur. Either North Decatur's better than I thought they were, or West Washington has a case of perhaps looking a little bit ahead, and then they got themselves caught in the contest.
Yeah, it could very well be the case. But, and I don't want to take anything away from what the Miners have done in the second half of the season or take anything away from the opponents. But, this football team is good, and you always get people wanting you to compare and how do they, are they the best Miner team ever and all that kind of stuff that people like to talk about. And
already heard those comments, and it seems like we have to deal with that every 2 or 3 years, and it's a different Miner team. It really is. The defense seems to be one of the better ones we've had. The offense, we've had some great years with guys running the ball, and we've had good, solid quarterbacks. You can't compare AK, also Carazia, with they're just 2 different peas in a pod.
Sure, absolutely.
You're more apt to compare it with Keith Cunningham, who ran the ball and could throw the ball well too. So it's yet to be seen. It's a lot of pressure on these kids now. The whole of Southern Indiana expects you to get there, and they expect to get there. And I just hope they can. They'll keep focused. I was more worried about tonight's game than any of. They'll be focused as can be in the next few weeks. Next week, one game at a time. And either way it goes, you got to be super proud of the effort that these kids did starting in the off season. Coach Ollie's making his way up here, and he's got to feel good about where his team is. And hopefully, Caden Walker can come back from whatever the shoulder problem he's having and be all right. And here comes Coach Ollie up here, and Coach, got to feel pretty good about the way your team came out tonight and played, both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah. Get another shout-out is great. The way the varsity defense played tonight. And even when our JV guys got in there, they were still able to make plays and get stops and even get our score. So pretty proud of them the way they played all around. Offense, defense, special teams, a little shaky at times, but got to give something to work on.
Well, your offense just put up over 420 yards of rushing. Another good passing on 124 yards, 8 of 9 passing. Got Jacob Clothier a lot more involved in tonight's contest. That got to make you feel good that the passing game can move the ball like it is.
Well, when they were lining up, they were stacking the box on us quite a bit. And whenever they were lining up on Clothier or whoever, they're playing 10 to 12 yards off. So we just kept hitting him on the underneath route, until they started coming up, and then we got him on the out and up. So they were giving ass, so we'll just take it all day. And that's what we did.
Pierce Jackson now back-to-back games, well over 100 yards, something like 280 the last 2 weeks. He has 157 tonight. Mitch Eberhard, 110 yards. Very balanced attack, really. Mason with 58. Again, Tyler just has 25. But, what about the unselfishness of Tyler Muir? I mean, here's a kid who's got 1,000 yards rushing, and there's some games he didn't hardly carry the ball.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what our offense is all about and what this program's all about. It's not about one kid. It's about everybody being a team. And Pierce had tonight, they were giving us where he could run the ball a little bit more. So we fed him the ball, and then they start adjusting that, and we go with Mitch. They were stacking the middle a little bit. We could have run outside with Tyler a little bit, but we didn't need to. We just give it to our other guys and kind of give Tyler a break a little bit. But we just, where it was open, we're going to take.
A trademark of minor running backs, they just don't go down. I don't know how many times tonight the tackle is made by Froschauer. The tackle, wait, he's still out. The tackle is made by nope. He's got Pierce Jackson's got to be, his motor must be going 100%. Is he this way in practice?
Oh, absolutely. He's, like you said, he's going 110 miles an hour every single play, and that's what we love about that kid. His motor, the way he goes, the way he plays the game, so much intensity. So the way he does that, it's awesome, and he's hard to bring down because he's not going to go down without a good push or a fight, if you want to call it, but he's going to give it everything he has, and he's not going to be easy to take down. And he proved that tonight on that one long run up the sideline.
Defense tonight, 97 yards is all you allowed the North Central Thunderbirds. They didn't complete they completed one pass towards the end of the contest. That's a pretty good job on a team that's ran for over 4,000 yards tonight. Your defensive front seemed to control things down there. Chance Howard, again, we call on his name quite a bit. What is he bringing to you? What options does he bring to you when you bring him in the game?
Well, Coach Jake was mentioning on the sideline, this is probably one of the best games that Chance Howard played all year. I mean, he was really hitting those gaps really fast and causing a lot of chaos up front with that center. And we switched from a 50 to the 40 at times, depending on different situations. And I don't think that really confused him a whole lot, but it just gave us different personnel and especially gave us where Howard's in there to make some plays for us and get in the backfield and disrupt their option stuff.
Coach, how does it make you feel to see the senior class now? They have not lost a sectional contest in their career and bringing home another sectional championship. People say, well, it gets old after a while, but it can't get old to see those kids' smiles on their faces out there right now.
Oh, it never gets old holding up a trophy. I don't care what trophy it is. It never gets old, especially with this group of kids. I mean, this is just phase one that we had to win, and so our kids wanted to go out and we had to get this. And so hosting a sectional trophy never gets boring.
Yeah.
It's just as sweet as it was whenever I got it when I was a first assistant coach, and this is my third one as a head coach. It's still just as sweet.
Well, it looks like West Washington is on taps for us. They were scoreless going into the third quarter, 7-0. West Washington took the lead 14-0 on a fake punt with 6 minutes to go. But last I heard, North Decatur's at their 15-yard line. So
they scored. I heard it was 14-6 or 13-6 or something like that, or they're within a touchdown.
A little surprising. I would have thought West Washington would have had that one in the bag. But either way, you'll take whoever it is we got.
Wherever it is, we'll go there and we'll go and give them our best shot. If it's at West Washington, we'll go there. If it's home, that's nice. I don't care. As long as we're playing, that's all that matters right now.
How long will you enjoy this?
Well, it's going to be awful tough. Definitely tonight, most of the day tomorrow. I'll Sunday evening, I'll start watching film probably. I got to come up tomorrow and send whoever wins information and stuff. So that's when I'll kind of start looking a little bit. But we've had some film on some other guys, so we've been kind of looking already.
I'm sure you sneaked a little bit of a peek at the Senators a little bit. I haven't looked at North Decatur at all. I got to be honest. I got to be honest with you. North Vermillion looked like they were handling South Putnam pretty easily, up 34-14 the last thing I heard. So they're still alive, and we're still alive, and the Senators probably going to be who we face. And
most important to me, we're still alive. We'll keep playing.
That's exactly right. Health-wise, I know Clayton didn't play tonight. Walker, it looked like we come out fairly all right.
Everybody came out all right. And Clayton was just a precautionary thing.
Avery kind of ran off the field one time there late with a little bit of a limp maybe. Or
he just kind of tweaked it a little bit, but, I mean, he was wanting to go back in. We're like, nope, you're done. Yeah. We're okay.
Before the game, their coach in the interview says, well, the one thing I've learned is I'm not kicking the ball to Tyler Muir.
And he did.
And he did. And where it ends up being 6 points later, I can't imagine anybody kicking to anybody in a minor uniform. That ball would be out of bounds every play.
We were the same way. We're like, they're actually kicking to him again, and sure enough, and there he goes. So we're like, hey, we'll take it. So,
huge congratulations, Coach, on the win, and we know that you guys will go to wherever we go next week and give them everything we got.
And that's the thing. You look tonight, we're here for a sectional championship. And we had a decent crowd, but we don't have our playoff crowd.
No.
And that's a little frustrating. Our kids were mentioning on the sideline.
Well, I've been mentioning it all week on every social grace I can.
I understand there's people who's got to stay home that can't make it, but these boys have worked their tails off for this program and for this town. If people can make it out to watch a game, come out and watch a game. If we go to West Washington next week, it's only an hour-and-a-half drive. The game will probably start at 7:30. Get down there. These boys love support. You can see Debo out in the middle of the field trying to get people up. I know it's kind of boring. Yeah, it's 70, whatever to nothing.
But
this is a championship game playoff. Our crowd is known to be coming out here and packing places, and we're not doing it. Still, all right, I can understand a regular season, but this is playoff. We need to be packing places.
We're getting the opportunity to see incredible plays. So these are the kind of plays that are incredible. This is the stuff you talk about for years, how it was done. And for me, it's just amazing. I don't care if we're winning 85-0. You get to see Tyler Muir make a run back like that, or a run by Pierce Jackson on the sideline, or you're leaping over people. I think sometimes people take for granted the kind of talent and the coaching levels. I think they take it for granted sometimes. And there are teams that used to dominate that suddenly don't dominate. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I wish we get the old days of place packed again.
Maybe we will. I think we will. But, I mean, these kids are still going to come out and perform their best. And if people want to sit home and watch it, that's fine. If you can't make it, I understand. But if you can make it, come watch these boys. They're awful fun to watch.
Excellent. Coach, we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it.
Hey, congratulations,
Thanks,
Coach. Coach Oliver up here after his team victorious, 5th straight sectional championship for his Miners, 3rd in a row for Coach Oliver. And the celebration continues out on the field. We had the fireworks, the players celebrating. Coach going to go back down there and join the bunch. And you know what we have to do this time of night, man.
Yeah, I do know exactly what it is. It's more of the same type of activity, guys all over the place. But I think I'm probably going to go with Pierce Jackson just because he gets lost in the mix sometimes here and there, both offense and defense. It's almost unfair. I don't know who else to but 157 yards on 10 carries, it's hard to fault that. Plus three receptions, 57 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. We had a running touchdown as well. So I'll throw his name out there. Although honestly, there's several that could.
I mean, it's the same thing every week. I mean, it could be a number of people, but it is time to announce tonight's REMC star of the game. And boy, I mean. 200-yard backs tonight, a punt return again for Tyler, interceptions for Mitch to throw in there with his.
Blocked punt by
Kendall Williams blocked the punt, had a touchdown run, also picked off a pass, I believe. So a nice night for Kendall Williams down there as well. So, I mean, but I agree. I don't have any problem giving it where you gave it. So congratulations to Pierce Jackson, tonight's star of the game. And for being named the star of the game, REMC is pleased to donate $50 to the Linton Athletic Department. That's from Utilities District of Western Indiana, REMC, a strong supporter of local and area high school sports. Well, that's going to do it from here at Linton High School. Once again, the Miners victorious tonight over North Central, 74-0, their 5th straight sectional championship. We'll be on the air again next week. Not sure of the time or the location yet, but we think we'll be at West Washington.
You got to figure any matchup with the distance is going to be 7:30. You would think for sure.
So a little bit of a drive to get down to West Washington. As Coach Oliver said, if you can get there, these kids are really worth watching in person and being there and soaking up that environment and showing them your support and doing all that. I want to thank Cowboy Ken Booth back at the station for helping us tonight. On behalf of Dan Phillips, I'm Darren Clayton saying good night and have a great day tomorrow.